exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-791-1313. That's 800-791-1313.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Don't miss a minute of the action when Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium Saturday, October 5th, when they take on Big 12 rival Kansas. Swoboda throws, intercepted by Piaseu. Cyrus Piaseu is going to take it all the way in for an Arizona State touchdown. A pick six for San Diego State transfer Cyrus Piaseu. Get your tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
My name is Mary Grace. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's in 2017. 2 months after losing her, my dad was diagnosed. The earlier the diagnosis you have, the more time you have with your loved one. With my dad, now that I know what's coming, I'm able to create memories not only for him, but for myself. Though when he can't remember, I'll remember for him.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189, or just go to harmonsolar.com.
My name is Mary Grace. Early diagnosis is key, but make no mistake, it is a devastating disease.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White, but he'll be along here in a little bit. Keon Rhodes is in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. As we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale, I don't want to talk about the Diamondbacks until Randy's here. So I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take all the baseball stuff, and I'm just going to put it over to the side. I'm going to save this for Randy. So that goes over here. And when Randy gets back, we'll talk about the baseball. There's no point in us talking about this until Randy's back. Besides, I want to see if he's still on the don't panic train, because it's getting bad.
It feels panicky.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I'll let Randy talk us into it, but it feels like a very panicky spot right now.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about other things until Randy shows up. He's probably going to be around 4:30 or so, and that's fine. That's when we'll talk to him about that. But right now, I got stuff that's up Keon's alley. I got some college football stuff. Going to talk about that here in a minute. But before we get started, I want to let you know that we still have tickets to the biggest little show on earth, the Micro Wrestling All-Star Showdown, and that is happening next Monday. Now, I got a text message from Lost Toby who's like, hey, it turns out I'm free on Monday. So I sent him some tickets. And Dick Whiskers, he, got some tickets the other day, too. But we still got a bunch more tickets left. So if anybody wants to go to the Micro Wrestling, the little people wrestling, I'm trying to there's no better word than midget wrestling.
They said micro. I feel like you could just say that.
I did, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody knows what that means. What do they think when I say micro wrestling? It's just people with small penises. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that. Why? No one's.
The way to find out is if you check the parking lot, a lot of lifted trucks. No, you don't. But whatever the case, this is happening over in Phoenix at the Stratus Event Center on Monday. And, micro wrestling. What more do you need to know? It's probably going to be nuts. It's probably going to be crazy. Randy, I wasn't sure if he was serious when he was saying he wanted to go. And part of me is like, yeah, okay. And the other part of me is like, I don't know. Are you going?
I am not.
I'm not. Would you go if Randy really meant it?
For Randy?
Yeah. I don't think he really means it.
I don't think so either. But also Randy just likes to talk about a good time. So if there's something that sounds like it could be fun, he's all in before he even realizes what the ramifications of that are.
Mm-hmm.
All chips to the middle of the table.
CK says, my midget coworker hates the term little people or micro. He actually prefers midget. Now, I would listen to you, but you'd have to prove you actually have someone who works with you that is of that height.
But also, just call people what they want. But here's the thing. It doesn't mean that applies to everybody. So
that guy will call him midget. But other people, I don't know.
Talk to them about it. If they say they're okay with it, then they're okay with it. If they're not, they're not.
I just wish that they'd be okay with
it. Okay, that's their call, though.
Well, I know. I'm just saying.
It doesn't seem like just from what I have seen, the overwhelming majority of little people do not like being called that.
I mean, eventually,
so I avoid it.
Little people is going to become like a bad term, and then there's going to be a new term.
Well, not really, because little people.
I think little people's worse.
I mean, you can say that, but because of the word you've been using, the way it was originally used was derogatory the whole time. So just because you could use it interchangeably, it is what it is.
I mean it affectionately.
Do what your conscience tells
you. Yeah, but you're right. You're right. Somebody wants to be called little people, I'll call them little people. But in the back of my head, I'm gonna be like, Mitch is better. Okay. CK says, I just call him Peck. Okay.
Is that because that's his name? Or?
I hope that's because that's his name. ASU Buddy says, what about hobbits? I would just call them hobbits. You mean, can we call them hobbits? No, because that a hobbit is a mythical, being with giant feet and, looks like the kid from the Goonies, Fish Tank says, I'm so annoyed. Yeah, we know you're annoyed. We know you're annoyed. Seen it on Twitter. But yeah, she says, so annoyed about the Braves games getting rained out. Looks like a double header on Monday that could decide the entire season.
And then
maybe I need to take that day off. Maybe you do.
Yeah. And then you've got to turn around and go play somewhere else for the wild card. If you win and you get in, you've now got to get on a plane and maybe head to San Diego or maybe head to Milwaukee and play a wild card game, which is a one-off playoff on the road to go in and get to the rest of the postseason. It's tough.
Berg says, Jeffrey likes fake wrestling. No, I don't. I'll take it in small doses.
Oh, my God.
8626 says the only thing micro I like in a guy is his nose. Everything else needs to be full size, maybe larger. I'm not reading your text anymore. I don't think you're a real person. Let's see. Teacher lady says, hello, Mr. O'Brien. Good day. I just wanted to say thank you for keeping me entertained after school here in the classroom, putting together my lesson plans for the next week and grading papers. I used to just listen to K-Jazz or K-Mozart, and that was a lot more boring than your show. Well, yeah.
Depends on the jazz, but the classical music is, well, it's classical music.
Yeah, I don't, the stuff on K-Jazz is sleepy. It's not.
I've
like
never
cool
listened
jazz.
to K-Jazz, to be fair, so I can't say.
Well, and the fact that teachers are listening to it should be the warning you need. You know what I mean? So it's boring as hell. I think clipping my fingernails on the radio would be more exciting than what you just explained. So telling me that this show is less boring.
It's a very low bar. We cleared it, but it yeah.
Moise one says I'd be heavyweight champion of the micro penis wrestling.
That could go either way, but I don't want to find out. I'm all good not knowing what you mean by that.
Pickle D says, hey, I'll take some tickets for some midget wrestling. All right, well, if you're serious, listen, no, I'm not going to give away tickets if you're not actually going to use them. But if you are, then just text me your email address and I will email you the ticket. The ticket that you get emailed to you is a numbered ticket that is specifically going to be for just you. So you can't copy it and hand it to your friends because these things have codes on them. Each and every one of them is different. So, okay, Pickle D, I will send that over to you during the break. Okay, pal? Enjoy. CK says, peck was a term normal sized people call Willow and people of his kind.
Didn't know that.
That's probably derogatory too now.
I don't know. You would have to ask the people involved.
It's a lot of work.
I think it's worth it.
I wonder if I could have a conference. Have the little people's conference. Like get everybody together in a hall. We'd only need half of it, but get everybody together and talk about it. All right, guys, listen, let's talk about this and sort it out and come up with something, because I feel like there's got to be something better than little people. I feel like that's condescending. I feel like it's, you're talking down to people. Of course, you are talking down to people. Okay, so just bear with me. I'm trying to,
I don't know, if you're little,
come up with a better term.
And you're a person.
Yeah.
That's a very basic description of.
But the word little is the one that I just
why?
wouldn't like.
Okay.
I wouldn't like to be reminded all the time. Little. Everybody gets mad when I call him little Kyler Murray. Now everybody's mad. I said little Kyler Murray. When I say everybody, I mean Randy.
Yeah, I think it's just Randy.
Just Randy. So I'm just saying,
because Kyler is like, I don't know. That's an accurate descriptive term. That doesn't.
I think we have an opportunity to do better. You know what I'm saying? You don't always get to come up with the terms, right? And if everybody got together and agreed on the terms and it was cool, then it would be easy. I don't know. I'm trying to help. I'm not trying to hurt. I'm trying to help. CK says half pint is a good one.
I don't think so. That's one where I'm like, no, that feels.
That's what you called Laura Ingram. Laura Ingalls Wilder. When she'd come running down the hill on Little House on the Prairie, Pa would call her half pint because she was a little girl. Well, you can call somebody a little girl if they're a little girl. But to call a grown person that,
and also because are you implying that other people are a full pint? Like that if you're a little person, you're a full person. You're just a smaller person, but you are an entire person.
I just want to help them come up with a better term. That's all. If they would let me. But I guess I'm not invited to the conversation, I'll just keep it to myself, I guess. Moise one says, you know what they say about men with big noses?
They've got big noses?
Big handkerchiefs?
That's
probably it.
They inhale deeply?
Mars Bars 805 last night, 10 o'clock. I think he was probably drunk. He texted in, said a Spanish word that I can't repeat about the Dodgers. and then said, "Go Raiders, go Diamondbacks. Happy Thirsty Thursday when you read this." And he says, "Randy, I'll take an 805, please." Well, yeah, he's not here, so when you show up again and say hello, we will be happy to serve you. Or
I can get you one. Yeah.
Gremlins, moist one. No, I don't think they're going to go for that.
I don't think so either.
I don't think they're going to go for that.
Is that what you'd like to be called? Like if that was you in that position?
I'm telling you what, I can come up with something. I may not have come up with it yet, but I can come up with something that's awesome that you'd want to be called. I'm good at names.
Yeah, I know that.
I'm good at coming up with terminologies. So I think I can help. Anyway, maybe they don't need help. Maybe it's none of my business. I don't know. I know one thing. I know college football is Keon Rose's business. And on Fridays at 4:20 p.m., we do the college. Oh, by the way, I got some new video backgrounds for that.
Very nice.
The Keon Rose college football dance party. And he breaks down a bunch of the games and the ones that matter going into the weekend. Hey, is there going to be Thursday games every week for colleges? Is there always
there's always Thursday
when
games.
Did that start?
It's been a while ago. Like some of the smaller conferences will play Thursday just to have themselves separated from the bigger schools that'll be playing Saturday and sometimes Friday night.
Seems like a mistake.
I don't know. People that like it, find it, watch it. It's not competing with anything else they like.
You can't compete with Thursday night football. Even as bad as it can be sometimes, you're going to lose.
Yeah, but the difference is that game's on TV. So like you can't compete with Thursday night football if that person's got Amazon Prime. If that person just has whatever cable network, they got college football. That's what they're watching.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Matthew Sluka. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, I think.
Or is it Sluka?
I think it's Sluka. That's what I've heard.
I like Sluka. But what again?
It is pretty cool.
Now I got to find out what he wants to be called. But UNLV quarterback Matthew Sluka, he quit the team and he's like, "Hey, I committed to UNLV based on certain representations that were made to me, which were not upheld after I enrolled. Despite discussions, it became clear these commitments would not be fulfilled in the future. Blah, blah, blah. I wish my teammates best luck. Yada, yada. I'm out of here." What were those commitments? Guessing they're NIL.
And I'm guessing very NIL.
He didn't get paid what he was supposed to get paid. So he's like, well, I'll take my talents on the road. And so here's the comments from UNLV. They said the football player Matthew Sluka's representative made financial demands upon the university and its NIL collective in order to continue playing. UNLV Athletics interpreted these demands as a violation of the NCAA pay-for-play rules as well as Nevada state law. UNLV does not engage in such activity, nor does it respond to implied threats. UNLV has honored all previously agreed upon scholarships for Matthew Sluka. So they're basically saying, hey, that's not us. We don't do that. That's not how this works. So break it down, Keon. What's the truth here? So UNLV promised this kid, if you come here, that business is going to do some NIL stuff for you, or this business or whatever.
Yeah.
So something changed, and I don't think he was asking UNLV for the money directly, but he was just saying, if these things don't happen, I'm leaving. So, what's the truth here?
Yeah, it seems like Sluka is telling the truth, at least at this moment, and there's anonymous sources involved, so a lot of things in this story subject to change. But there was supposed to be $3,000 payouts, over the course of it. That there was one initial payout of $3,000, and according to sources, the collective had agreed to pay out $3,000 a month, and then the next month came. And there was no $3,000. Matthew Sluka said, well, I'm out of here because that's just not going to work for me. That's what you promised. Now, the university may not have promised that. I will give UNLV that. The university, you can't negotiate directly with the university for this money. So they're trying to stay out of it. Whatever you work out with the NIL collective is what you work out with the NIL collective. So the UNLV may have just said, hey, we'll obviously give you the scholarship stuff and all of that. That's our obligation. The collective is the collective. But the fact is, if the collective represents you, then the player's going to take that out on you. They don't have any way of getting back at the collective, but they can just not play for you. And Sluka was actually having a really good year so far. So I don't know if UNLV comes back around on that, or if they just decide, hey, you know what, that this is one of those things where because the player's representation was making demands, if we somehow agree to that, then that makes it seem like we are actually involved in the payments, which is still something that the university cannot do directly.
So is the kid barking up the wrong tree? Or, I mean, all he has to do is just tell the school, hey, you promised me these things would happen. These things aren't going to happen. You can help make them happen or not. Well, okay, I'm gone. And that's what it sounds like Sluka is saying.
Yeah.
But the UNLV is making it sound like he went directly to them saying, where's my money?
Yeah, and maybe that's what it is, but this is not Matthew Sluka doing this on his own. This is him with representation. So his representation needed to know who to ask. And I don't know if that is UNLV or if that is the collective, or if UNLV and the collective kind of got blurred in the process of negotiating and then UNLV backs off. So then you go to UNLV because you had been talking to them the whole time before. I don't know. This is a pretty messy situation, and there's not a whole lot of details out about it at the exact moment in time.
So he's good as a quarterback. He has quit the team. So can another team pick him up? What is he just done for the year? What are the rules on that?
For the year, he's not going to be eligible to play, I don't think, unless he just has a transfer available, but most likely he's just going to be off for the year. And then depending on how much football he's played, he may have eligibility to just use the full year next year because we're still pretty early in the season.
I mean, is this a kid that's going to play in the NFL?
I don't think so, but he's a good college player.
So he's just like, well, I better do what I need to do now.
Essentially, yeah. This is me playing for the moment, and you know, if something were to happen in his quarterback development that sent him to the NFL, sure, but I had not heard Matthew Sluka's name in those conversations at all.
Get it while it's hot, I guess. Megatron says he redshirted for this year. Teacher Lady says, your show is a nice balance. I tried to give that other station down the dial a try, and they were just always yelling at me all the time. Like you directly, or you mean just through the speakers, just yelling?
Which is my guess, but that would be crazy if they were like, Teacher Lady!
Every day. God damn it, Teacher Lady! What the hell? I am so tired. We don't excuse you, the bell does. How do you like that? Like, whoa.
Oh, man.
She says, your show is even-keeled and balanced with very little shouting. Yeah, that's true. Keon will start shouting every now and then, but for the most part, no, it's not a whole lot of shouting. Randy will start shouting every now and then.
Yeah.
But I generally don't.
I like a good shout. You get out your system and then you move on.
I don't shout very often, do I?
I don't think so, no.
I
don't think so.
Because my words carry enough weight on their own.
That's the best explanation for that I've ever heard.
It's really not the real reason.
But it sounds cool.
I can say the sarcastic crap I need to say at this level. And I just don't get so excited.
It's like, no, you can hurt my feelings with a whisper. Why do you need to yell?
That's a point. Yeah. That's right. Pickle D says, $15, little man. Put that in my hand. I'm not reading exactly the way he said it. I don't know what you're talking about. He must be quoting a movie.
I think so.
I feel like he is. Let's see. Silly Wabbit says, apparently Teacher Lady has not listened to the show very long. Well, yeah, we just broke it down pretty well right there. It's about the shouting, at least. Do I shout? I don't think I shout much.
You don't.
No.
You don't. I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm just saying. All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, other things to talk about, some more college stuff, some regular sports stuff. Okay, well, that's not to imply that college is not regular sports stuff.
Yeah, but when you're talking about, you know, a guy doing something that we've never seen before, which is saying I'm not playing because the NIL money didn't come through, that's not regular sports stuff. That's unusual sports.
Well, I've got something actually even more unusual when it comes to college football. It's disturbingly unusual. Come on back and find out. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Major League Baseball, the Diamondbacks wrapping up their 3-game series with the San Francisco Giants tonight, looking to snap a 3-game losing skid. They lead the Atlanta Braves by just a half a game for the final wild card spot in the NL. Zach Gallen gets the start tonight against Mason Black. Arizona minus a run and a half at home tonight, minus 115 on the run line. The Giants getting a run and a half, minus 105. On the money line, San Francisco plus 195. The Diamondbacks minus 235, and the over-under run total tonight is at 8.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's fall football on the Fanatic. Catch all the live game play-by-play. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday day and night NFL games. Plus the Saturday NCAA football game of the week. It's all right here on the Valley's home for football. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
In most countries of the world, Porte means door. United Porte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Ralph? Yeah, Neil. Why is that moving truck out front? And what are all these moving boxes doing here?
Haven't you heard? The Weekend Warriors are moving to Sundays at 8 a.m.
Yeah, we'll be the best pro football pregame show in the Valley.
I'll break down the Cardinals each week.
I guess I can break down the Cardinals' opponent each week.
And we'll have a weekly segment with last-minute fantasy football advice from the king, Scott Engel.
So what are you going to do, Ralph?
I'm just going to be right all the time, like always.
Whatever.
It's the Weekend Warriors Football Sunday.
Starting in September.
At 8 a.m. on 1580 The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580 Fanatic. Sir Drives a Lot says, if that money doesn't show, then you owe me. Okay. Is that another quote? I just don't know anymore. Quiet Cannon says, midgets are compact people. Compact. Yeah, it's not too bad. Pickle D says, my jungle love. Okay. See, the people are just shouting out random things now. Chief Skull says, Jeffrey, you have me on the edge of my seat. What's so unusual in college football? Did Deion Sanders finally get some humility? Oh, jungle love. That's what the lines were from earlier. So,
anyway, Silent Bob. That's
thanks.
It's been a million years since I've seen that movie. So,
So, back to the thing.
Oh, the thing. So the thing that I was saying, this is disturbing. So there's this fan of the Kansas State Wildcats, and he's like, "Oh man, I'll tell you what, we're gonna beat BYU. We're gonna beat BYU so bad, I'll tell you what." And everybody's like, "No, you're not." And he's like, "Oh, I'll tell you, I'll guarantee it. I guarantee the Kansas State Wildcats will beat the BYU. If they lose, I will shove a beefy 5-layer burrito from Taco Bell right up my keister." So BYU won, and this Kansas State Wildcat fan says, "You know what? I'm going to do this Saturday. It's going to happen. 9:30 p.m. Going to make good the bet and shove a beefy 5-layer burrito up my keister."
I don't think that anyone should hold you to that.
Online, he's going to do it on video. I don't know that that's even possible. Okay, let's just sort of review.
I mean,
I'm talking physically. It's not possible because it's not solid enough. For one thing, it's just going to come apart.
It's not,
and it's bigger than you. You know what I'm saying?
You quite frankly undersold how disturbing this was.
No, I didn't. I told you.
That did not prepare me for what this is. I don't even know what to say right now. No, you shouldn't be held to that bet. That's like the one bet where I'm like, no, you don't have to do that.
Nobody
you don't need
wants
to do
see
that.
it.
Yeah, like it's not funny. It's like a good bet you pay off on is kind of funny or weird. This is not. This is beyond weird, and it's not funny. It's just the only possibility for it. Its best case scenario is that it's absolutely disgusting.
Taco Bell should not be put. There's only one time it should be in that area. It's later.
Yeah,
it's not a before. It's an after,
and it's a Taco Bell, so it's not going to take you that long. It'll get through there pretty quick. You don't have to push anything back that side. You don't have to.
Yeah, it's like the express lane at Disneyland. The Taco Bell goes right through. There's no line.
It jumps to the front of the line. Yeah,
a beefy 5-layer burrito.
That's like the worst thing on the menu to even try that with.
Well, I feel like no, that's not true. Anything jagged, like crunchy taco.
Okay,
would be worse.
that's
crunchy
fair.
taco would be worse.
Does the beefy 5-layer burrito have the Fritos in it?
It's a good question.
I thought it did.
And what if it has like the fire stuff in it too?
Well, that's not great.
Moist One's already figured it out.
I know he was obviously going to be the first person to go there.
First, he says, no, it's Fritos. There's Fritos in there.
Yeah.
But he has a way, at least, to make the burrito solid. He says you got to freeze it first.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
Sounds like somebody who might have entertained this before.
You think? I'm not surprised. Are you?
Nothing surprises me anymore.
Not with the Moist One. No,
not
at all. There are times where I think I've literally seen or heard everything, and then the Moist One texts in, and I'm like, all right, that's a new thing. I learned a new thing today. That's not the thing I wanted to learn, to be clear, but I learned a new thing today.
Moist One says it's too expensive. What, the beefy 5-layer burrito is too expensive?
How much are they?
There's nothing at Taco Bell that you'd have to say, oh, it's too expensive.
Like it's more, everything in food because of, inflation and all that is more expensive than it used to be. Beefy 5-layer burritos like $4.
I just don't think this is physically possible.
I don't want to find out if it is. You don't have to put that online.
Moisten says
if you go home and just say you did it, I'll believe you.
It's $5 now. It used to be $1.29 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's just food across the board. The $5 footlong. Now you pay $5 for half the sandwich for like 6 inches. That's just food. It's not just Taco Bell.
Quite again, I don't think that they'd have a case. He says if I was Taco Bell and that ever got online with the burrito thing, Taco Bell should sue somebody big time. You can't sue somebody for how they use your product.
Granted, if I were Taco Bell, I'd sue knowing I'd lose just to waste his money. There's got to be some recourse for this. You can't just do that.
8626 says, "Can you send me a link for the live stream of the guy shoving the burrito?"
You're gonna have to find that on your own.
I'm not going. I'm not looking. I'm not. There's nothing. There's no link in that story. I'm clicking on.
I haven't had to use this one in a while, but I'll just repeat it again. That stuff stays between you and your internet service provider. I don't want to know. Nobody wants to know. You go find it.
So this is not as bad as what Chief Skull's reminding us. How about the FSU fan who said he'd eat his own poo if FSU lost? They did, and then he just suddenly went silent on social media.
As he should have. That's the way to do it.
Well, maybe this Kansas State Wildcat fan will, but see, now he's come out and doubled down and says, "Yep, I'm going to do it." So everybody's like, "Oh my God." I feel like this is a guy who probably just either likes to or always
wanted to and just
shove
decided
something somewhere.
Yeah. Now, granted, I agree with you. You could have chosen many things that make that easier than a beefy 5-layer burrito from Taco Bell. That, like, just about anything, actually.
Yeah, I just would never make that bet.
No.
There's nothing I'm that confident in life.
And as a person that's just in the public, I'm telling you, no one's going to hold you to this. No one is going to hold you to this. You can just go home and say you did it, and I'll go ahead and give you the stamp of approval. I'll just say you did. We can all agree that you did, and we don't all have to do it.
So when I first showed up at a radio station in Palm Springs 10 years ago, and it was there was this other show going on with this gal and this guy, and they were doing this show, and she had bet that the 49ers would win a game or she would shave off an eyebrow. She'd shave off an eyebrow.
Yeah, it's pretty harmless. It grows back.
And I've always regretted this because I came into the conversation and got her off the hook because I lawyered it.
Oh, no.
Because it was supposed to be she'd shave her eyebrow off. And I said, well, all you said was, and I listened to the tape and said, you said you'd shave off an eyebrow. Didn't say it was yours. So if you find somebody to do this for you, then you're off the hook.
That is a loophole. That is a loophole. Yeah.
So she did, and her eyebrows remained intact. And I've always regretted that because she turned out to be a horrific wildebeest. She was not a nice person. Now I wish I had never helped.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Obviously, sometimes
I was a new guy.
Sometimes good deeds go punished.
So I always regretted getting her off the hook. Quiet Cannon says, if burrito video goes public, the blender will probably dedicate at least a half an hour discussion to it. No, this is it.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Not going to be talking about this anymore.
Because if it goes public, how are we going to talk about it if we don't watch it? Nobody on this show is watching.
Some bets, you don't make. And some bets you don't take. If somebody made that bet, I say no. Forget it.
Yeah.
Nope, don't want.
I have never bet monetarily or otherwise anything I didn't mind losing. That's the only way to bet. And I like the dignity I have of not having to figure out how to cram a 5-layer burrito from Taco Bell up my backside. I like that. And I will not give that up or put that on the line for any reason.
ASU Buddy says, tell him to do it with some Diablo sauce.
At that point, what difference could it possibly make?
Fish Tank says, after this segment, we should check in on Teacher Lady and see if she just preferred the yelling.
I think she would have preferred 15 minutes straight of yelling to whatever we're doing here.
There's a bunch of texters who are texting in lines from Jungle Love, wee oh. And I think they're just singing it, putting their fingers in their ears, going la 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 la. That's what it seems like.
I'd rather sing that than talk about this, which fair.
Silly Wabbit says maybe that could be the lead story for the new Weekend Warrior show on Sunday.
I mean, if they want to go there.
Well, they're just talking NFL, so.
Yeah.
8629 said, no, I'm not reading that. Okay, I'm not reading your text anymore, 8626. I don't think you're real. Chief Skull says, rule of thumb, don't make stupid butts. That was my slip. Don't
In
make
this
stupid
particular-
bets, regardless.
In this particular case, a stupid bet is going to wind up with a stupid butt, and that's where we are. That's how we got here.
At least he's kind of hiding his identity. He's wearing a Taco Bell mask, a bag as a mask. So
it's something, because you can't put something like this online and expect to ever be employed again.
Oh yeah,
like
No,
you're
can't.
unhireable.
You can't. Biscuits and gravy. I'd love to read your text, but for some reason, when I clicked on it, the screen is blank. So I'll try to get back to that. Can beefy 5-layer burritos go right through you in that direction? No, I don't think they can.
I don't
physically. I do not think it's possible.
But we have one brave man trying to find out.
Yeah, I think we got the text line trying to betray me again. So I can only say from Biscuits and Gravy, what if he takes the ingredients and does it, and then that's all I've got?
I'm guessing he's going to say one at a time.
I see.
You go, but even that isn't that harder, because now you've got the rice. That's its own thing. You've
One
got
at a
the
time.
onions as its own thing. You've got the sauce as its own thing. Like, I don't know, beans as its own thing. That seems actually more difficult somehow. I went to journalism school.
I really want this person to just disappear, like the FSU guy did.
I went to college, and I'm talking about
woof,
a man trying to figure out how to get a 5-layer burrito up himself.
You need to honor your bets, but then you don't have to accept a bet like this from the other side.
You don't. I'm just saying, if I were a person on the other side of that bet, I'd let you off the hook. Because part of the fun of having somebody do a bet that's embarrassing or weird is that I get to see it and laugh at you for losing, and now you're doing something embarrassing and weird. I don't want to see this, so I don't want you to do it, because there's no joy in it for any of us. You're not going to like doing it. I'm not going to want to see it. There's who's gaining from this? We all lose.
Beer Bob says brave would not be the word that I would use to describe that gentleman, Keon. Yeah, this guy's a degen for sure.
Yeah, I was
Just totally
trying to be nice.
We're never hiring anybody from Kansas State now,
just to be safe.
Yeah, because we will not accidentally hire this guy. He's a sports fan,
so he
Can't
might be
risk
working
it.
in broadcasting. Yeah, no, you can't do it. Can't do it.
Can't risk it. If that gets us in trouble with the government, I don't even care, because I'll just show them this story. Here's why.
Yeah,
we don't want to
I
accidentally
feel
hire
like
this guy.
That's the one guy you get to just discriminate against always.
All right, we're not going to talk about this anymore.
I
Moving
appreciate
on.
that.
I told you it's college football related, and it was disturbing.
And it was very disturbing.
All right, let's take a break. Come back, and we got a couple more things that we're going to talk about, and then after that, it should be all football, except for when Randy gets back. We'll talk about the Diamondbacks and that hopeless situation. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
You may know me as Ruben Gallego, but I've had a lot of titles over the years. First, son, or mijo, by my single immigrant mom who worked so hard to make ends meet, and brother by my 3 incredible sisters. I've been called janitor, line cook, construction worker, doing any job I could to help out since we didn't have much. I earned the title graduate from Harvard University. I was called infantryman in the Marines when my company took some of the heaviest losses in Iraq. I'm called congressman, proudly representing Arizona the past 10 years. But my favorite title of all is dad to my 2 beautiful kids, whose future I'm fighting for every day. That's why today, my title is candidate for Senate. I'm fighting to lower costs and secure our border. I'm Ruben Gallego, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message because for me, it's never been about titles. It's about standing up for hardworking Arizonans like you.
Paid for by Gallego for Arizona.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Forte. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Unsure how to cast your vote for judges on this year's general election ballot? The Arizona Commission on Judicial Performance Review makes it easy for voters to understand how Arizona judges are performing. The commission evaluates judges using nonpartisan codes of conduct and public input to make recommendations for voters. Finish your ballot with confidence. Learn more about the judges on your November ballot by visiting azjudges.info. That's azjudges.info. Remember, your vote matters. Sponsored by the Arizona Commission on Judicial Performance Review.
1580 The Fanatic. And at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for sports.
On nuts. Today's blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Somebody said they wanted them micro wrestling tickets, and then they texted something else, and I've lost them. Who was that? Hey, if I know that Lost Toby and Dick Whiskers got the tickets, but somebody else said they wanted to go. Dang on it! Sorry about that. You're gonna have to text in again so I know which one was you. Oopsie.
Text lines like that sometimes.
Yeah. So part of me is impressed, and the other part of me is like, really? Okay. So you know how we talk about every now and then the trading cards or the memorabilia, this jersey going for $1 million, somebody's locker going for $3 million, somebody's whatever. So it was good to see a record broken, but here, let me just read you the headline. Caitlin Clark, WNBA draft card, sells for $84,000. Most expensive women's sports card in the world. It's only $84,000 though. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But compared to,
yeah, but the markets are different. Like
that's a huge difference.
Yes, there is a gigantic difference in the markets of women's sports and men's sports. There's a gigantic difference in viewership. There's a gigantic difference in publicity.
But with the way this season has gone and how popular she is, and I mean, people are nuts over Caitlin Clark,
and like rightfully so.
Felt like this would maybe gone for more than that.
It's only been one season though. Like, that's the thing, is that Caitlin Clark is one player, and it's only been one season. You're just not going to make that jump and get and overcome the gap of decades of a mismatch in viewership and a mismatch in publicity and a mismatch in advertising and all that stuff in one season of Caitlin Clark. You're just not, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Yeah.
But that's just, I knew it would be less than, a Kobe, a Michael Jordan, or even even the newer players. But I didn't think it would be under 100,000.
I figured it would, because there are people, like when you look at the NBA, there are guys that you have literally never seen dribble a basketball because they're that far down the end of the bench. They're being paid more than the top WNBA players. So like, if that's the disparity in what the actual people are getting paid, then like the stuff being worth that, like that tracks, in my opinion.
79 bids, and it got to 84,000, and that was it. They're going to be auctioning off another card, the WNBA draft cards, together for Clark and Angel Reese, and they're thinking, well, that might be something there.
That might go for a lot too. But
Moisman says that card is more than her annual salary.
Exactly.
Bullseye says, if I were a sports memorabilia collector, which I'm not, I would invest in a Caitlin Clark signed rookie card. Eventually, that'll be more, and worth a lot more 10 to 20 years from now. Yeah, I would imagine. That's a good investment.
Yeah, I think so.
Walter Mellon says Jeffrey didn't say what the previous record was. I'd be curious to see how much it jumped for Caitlin's card. I'm guessing the previous card was probably more like $84. I don't know. I wouldn't even know. We haven't even heard about it. So what the most expensive women's sports card would be. Now, remember, a sports card doesn't mean basketball. A sports card could be anything, like a Florence, a FloJo card from the Olympics. It could be, Mary Lou Retton or whatever from,
or like, U.S. women's national team from, when they were dominant,
or them soccer player gals. Yeah. So do we know what the previous record was, Keon?
I'm trying to see if I can find it.
That's going to be a hard one.
Yeah. Real test of the Google foo here.
Yeah, the information out there is probably not overflowing, but somebody knows that this is a record, so there had to have been a previous. Beer Bob says $84,000 is crazy, considering it's a card from this year. What's so special about it that it's worth that much? Even if it's autographed, you can still get her autograph, Well, because this is the first one. This is the Blue Viper rookie card signed by her and guaranteed authentic by Panini. So, the fix was in. Because they had the first card, she signed it, boom, boom, they auctioned it off. That's the way it works. So, anyway, 8073 says maybe Serena Williams' card.
Yeah, the Serena Williams, I just found that. That actually went for more than this one.
Well done, 8073.
And it is the only one that's ever gone for more than this one.
How much?
That was $266,000.
Well, see, now that's more like it. That's about the range I might have thought that the Caitlin Clark card would go for. So it says most expensive women's sports card. I got news for you. I mean, I'm not a big fan of tennis, but it's a sport. So, the story I'm reading right now is dumb because it's wrong. So Serena Williams, good for her.
I think the previous one was just also a Caitlin Clark card. As far as people not named Serena Williams, which was $78,000.
So before that, Bullseye says previous record for a women's basketball card was a 2004 Ultra Platinum Medallion Diana Taurasi card sold for $11,500 earlier this year. A few months before that, New York Liberty star Sabrina Ionescu's 2020 Panini Prism WNBA Black Gold rookie card sold for $10,800, marking the first time a women's basketball card was sold for 5 figures at auction. So it jumped to 10, 11, and now it's jumped to 84.
That's crazy about the Taurasi when you just consider she's basically WNBA LeBron. She's just done everything, multiple championships, multiple MVPs, most decorated player, 20 plus year career, never really fell off and got to be a bad player. It's crazy to me that's just like an $11,000 and that was last year.
Yeah, I mean, the market will bear, right? Yeah. Whatever the market will bear. But I think that as the year has gone by, well, that is a good example. People doing trading cards earlier in the year probably had no idea what was coming. And now, Caitlin Clark, not just her, Angel Reese too, these two gals have really, moved the needle on stuff. So I guess maybe next year it'll be even more. So
and the next draft class is also going to be exciting. So there's a lot to look forward to if you're into women's sports memorabilia.
So if you're Dan Campbell, you're looking forward to getting used to where your socks are in which drawer. We talked about this a little bit the other day. So Dan Campbell and his family had to move out of their house because people started showing up and screaming at the house. Yeah, you suck, Dan Campbell. People are mad when they lose. And so they were getting harassed. So it's like, you know what, we can't stay here. Let's move. It's getting weird out here. So they moved to a whole new house. And they found out who gave up the info. Turned out to be a classmate of his daughter. They said he was doxxed. I didn't even know this term, but there's a term. Doxxed means you put somebody's private information out on the intranets, and then everybody shows up at your house. That's horrible.
That's incredibly bad. And
surprised he moved. I would have thought he just went out there and whooped somebody's ass.
The problem is when you have multiple people showing up and you don't know what their weapon situation is. You don't know if they brought anything to harm you with. Like if it was Dan Campbell and just a guy heckling him, that's an ass kicking and then he walks back inside. But I'm guessing it was enough people. And look, you're also a football coach. You're at the stadium all the time. You're in the building. You're trying to, do some work, watch film and all that. Well, what if your family's there without you? Then that doesn't become a situation when you fight a guy. Like, that's actually very scary because now it's your wife and kid home alone.
So it turns out that then the investigated stuff and figured out what was going on. They're saying there's no criminal liability. So this kid could just put out whatever information he wants, and there's no repercussions for that. I mean, I guess it makes sense. How do you even write a law for that? It's the famous people law. That's just not the way the First Amendment works, I guess.
But I don't know, because there has to be some laws around it, because even private people get their information put out there. If you say something really dumb on social media and then people put your information out there, and the next thing you know, crazies are showing up at your house, only you don't live, in a gated community like Dan Campbell. You just live in some neighborhood. That could be your life in danger.
Sure, but there's no law against that information being put out there.
That feels very, very yelling fire in a crowded theater to me.
Yeah, but it's really because First Amendment protected on that. It's not like you went and stole their identity. So a lot of times you'll need to create some sort of some buffer. Famous people will create corporations, and the corporations will own the thing, so their names aren't directly attached. You can't get searched on.
Yeah.
But outside of that, man, you get recognized. People know where your house is. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
I'm actually worried about people less famous than Dan Campbell that this stuff happens to. They can't just afford to move. That seems like that's going to end in a very bad place before we get laws in place around that. Because if you get doxxed, like if I get doxxed, I can't afford to move. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not about fame. Like, it happens to people who are just, I'm an accountant, and I had a Twitter comment that was maybe not good. Maybe I said something that I should not have said. And then the hate mob that happens online, the mob, they get things going, and then your address winds up in it, which has happened to a lot of people before. That's not, to me, that's a very bad place that ends. I don't like where that road goes.
Well, if they want to make it illegal, I'm not going to complain about it. You know? But right now, we don't have laws for that sort of thing. So this kid, I wouldn't want Dan Campbell mad at me. But I guess they questioned the classmate, and Bullseye is saying, per the story I saw, the classmate told the investigator that he and his friends were distraught by the NFC Championship loss, which led them to drive to Campbell's residence and park on the street. And from there, they yelled not nice things towards the house before they left. Distraught.
You haven't seen an NFC title game in 30 years. What do you mean distraught? What about the other 29 years where you weren't even there?
Silver Pop says, hey, Jeffrey, will Clark sign more cards in the future? So wouldn't those cards have more value? No, the original card, which is $84,000, that will probably appreciate in value the further she goes in her career, because that's the original. He says, try to tie into this argument you had last week about the 50-50 thing with that Dodgers player. Now you can see the logic, or the first signed draft card at that moment. It's a different kind of thing, though, because that's an achievement card. This isn't we're talking about a rookie card. That is like that unknown, right? That's why rookie cards are worth so much, because it's at the very beginning, and it's like, oh my God, that thing's worth a lot of money. But when you're talking about the 50-50 or the 60-60, those are achievements going in the other direction. That's why I was saying that. I understand the concept. I just don't agree. I think it should always be the finality of the achievement. If it's 62, that should be the most expensive card.
I see where you're coming from on that. It's just a matter of which milestone do people find more important, and cracking the barrier, people find to be more important than where you wind up, unless you've cracked another barrier, which would be 60-60.
Sheriff Tom says, the most item of value from Caitlin Clark will be game-used goggles, which prevented her from getting poked in the eye again with 3-inch fake nails.
Okay.
That's why Angel Reese has the big eyelashes. That helps deflect eye pokes.
I'm willing to bet no.
In my mind, that's truth. That is more interesting, that her giant eyelashes are like blocking finger pokes.
Also, I have to look at that. I haven't seen anybody out there playing with the fake nails. So like, what are we talking about?
Caitlin Clark got poked in the eye. That's okay.
Yeah, but like, what's the extra bit about the nails? No one's playing with fake nails. Have you tried to play basketball with just unclipped regular fingernails? Adding fake nails to that'd be insane.
I figured somebody's wearing them. I don't know. I don't watch. 2970 says, can I get tickets to the midget wrestling? Yes. Just send me your email address and I will set you up. Kringleberry says, pretty sure there's laws against doxing in many states, but I guess Michigan's not one. 8073 says, maybe those students were distraught because they had Taco Bell bets on the line. All right, but up with that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
A new app called Sport Trade is coming to Arizona to make minus 110 odds obsolete. Search Sport Trade Wells to see the great prices Sport Trade players are getting in real time.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed the law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Kari Lake. Kari and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Kari Lake for Senate.
I'm Kari Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kari Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
to annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
The road to better health leads to my longtime friends, Dr. William Gaspar and his wife Ava at Beehive IV Wellness in Chandler. JD Hayworth here, and the buzz about Beehive is spelled out in its middle name, IV. Not only are today's popular treatments available, IV hydration, joint injections, semaglutide for weight loss, as well as many more, it's also the Gaspar's holistic naturopathic approach that helps your body with self-healing. That means treating the underlying causes of chronic disease, from chronic fatigue to fibromyalgia, even those dealing with Lyme disease and lupus. The experienced medical staff designs a customized plan for each patient. So walk in or make an appointment today. Mention my name, JD Hayworth. Get half off your first treatment. Better health awaits you at Beehive IV Wellness in Chandler. Search Beehive IV Wellness on your cell phone. And remember, you'll thrive at Beehive.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. It's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. And your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He'll be here in about a half an hour. Keon Rose is here, though. He's in the control room. You guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. Broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And so far today, we've already given away 3 pairs of tickets to the biggest little show on earth, Micro Wrestling. Next Monday night, 8 p.m. over at the Stratus Event Center. So
I'm very surprised. I'll be honest, because we gave away like one pair of tickets, and then somebody later on said, "Oh, I'll take one too." And so now today we've given away 3, and we haven't even tried. So if people are coming around to the idea and going, I think I will watch some micro wrestling. All you got to do is email me. Not email me. I keep saying it wrong. Text me your email address, and I will send you the tickets directly. So happy to help out, but just don't ask for tickets if you're not going to use them. I hate when tickets go to waste. Whatever you do, make sure that the tickets do not go to waste. It just makes me sad. It's like when people don't eat their food. When food goes to waste, that makes me sad. I think I'm more sad about food going to waste than micro wrestling tickets, but it's still sad.
Yeah, the concept still applies.
A little bit. 888-368-1580. Fish Tank says, I know I mentioned this before, but I only get housework done when you guys are on the air. Today, I'm painting a bathroom. So thanks for making it just a little less miserable. We could make it more miserable. I just do that for the entire hour.
I may walk out. I mean, that's a sound
imagine?
right there.
Oh my God! Everybody turn off the radio if they did
It's
that.
all right. It's 4:02. That's 2 more hours.
Somebody probably turned it off right when I started doing that.
Probably.
Just even taunt Fish Tank cost us probably some listeners.
Oh man.
Big
Wow.
George says, hello, gentlemen. Sorry for being late to the show. It's being put into your permanent record. He says, work has been super busy. Boy, oh boy, Diamondbacks. Hold on, George. We said earlier in the show, we were going to wait till Randy shows up to even talk about the Diamondbacks because I want him here for this. Don't want to repeat myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to panic. George says, I need somebody to talk me off the ledge. Jeffrey, Keon, you just wait for Randy. Let Randy do that because I can't do it. Look over to your left. I'm on the ledge.
On the ledge with you?
Yeah.
I'm not on the ledge, but I'm going to need a convincing argument to not take a step in that direction.
Right. Keon's not on the ledge because this isn't his team, but he's standing back going, what am I supposed to say that keeps them from jumping? I have nothing. I'm the worst negotiator right now.
Yeah.
Don't hand me a bullhorn. I can't help. Oh, so yeah, we're going to talk some football and then we'll pick back up on the baseball and then go back to football. Oh, here's something I forgot before we go on. Remember the other day I told you that the Nobel Prize winners were announced and they're all weird as hell?
You did mention that. Yeah. I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
So one of these guys got a Nobel Peace Prize for research that they did that proved you can breathe through your butt.
Well, that's certainly
found many mammals are capable of it. Studies showed doctors might be able to treat things like COVID using special mixture of oxygenated liquid in that area.
Well, I guess it does have an application to medicine. It's just
So I saw the rest of these winners, and they're all weird as hell. One of them might not be, but the rest, I got 10
weirdos.
9 out of 10 are really weird. So the next one, a team in Amsterdam did a 350,000 coin flips and found it's not really 50-50. Coins are slightly more likely to land on the same side that they start on. So it didn't have to do anything heads or tails. It's just, if you have heads on the top when you flip it, and a lot of people go, all right, heads or tails, and they'll put it where they see the head. That's just human nature. So I don't know if we needed a Nobel Peace Prize for this research.
Yeah, I think it's interesting research.
We won the Nobel Prize by flipping a coin 350,000 times.
Yeah, that's a little hard to justify when you consider, Nobel Peace Prize winners like Albert Einstein. And then you've got the guy that flipped a coin, almost a 250,000 times, a little over that. It's not quite the same level of impact. Theory of relativity. Coin flips aren't really 50-50. Like the applications are not the same. It's not equal.
Oppenheimer's just like, well, I should have detonated that bomb here. And just the next one, this year's Peace Prize went to a study that looked at whether you could put pigeons inside missiles to help guide them.
What did they discover?
Here's the thing. I would not want to put a pigeon inside of a missile to guide it. Because what if it went, oh, I want to go back over there because that's where the food is. Back where I was, but my nest. I'm going back to my nest. And so you launch this missile. Next thing you know, that thing is coming right back at you because the pigeon's like, I'm hungry. That does not seem like Nobel Peace Prize winning stuff.
There's just some poor woman in a park feeding pigeons.
Even better.
That is just about to have the last day of her entire life. The worst and last day.
I feel like that. So that is my dark humor saying, yes, that's perfect. That's how that should go.
Your Palpatine side.
Yeah. Launch the missiles. I don't care if it takes out headquarters. That lady going, oh, here you go, bitch. Oh, what the hell is this?
Oh my God.
The Botany Prize went to a study that found some plants will imitate the shapes of fake plastic plants if you put them next to each other.
This is another one like the coin flip one.
Why?
It's interesting.
How is this Nobel Peace Prize winning?
Exactly.
And how does this benefit anything?
Like, what can you apply that to?
Let's read. Okay, the only thing so far that benefits anything is breathing through your butt. After that, pigeons and missiles? No. Flipping a coin? No. Plants that imitate fake plants next to them?
Like, what can you do with that? Like, maybe there is some application. We're just not thinking of it. But I think I feel pretty confident that doesn't have any practical purpose at all.
A lot of these people should get just prizes for being able to con people out of money for these studies. There has to be funding.
Yeah,
and
it's like
these people, they got the anatomy prize. These people probably should be up on charges because they did a study that looked at the direction your hair swirls in and whether it's affected by the hemisphere you're born in. Kind of like the myth that toilets flush in opposite directions in other hemispheres. They got money for this.
Did they find out anything? Did they prove that actually is true?
All I know is they did the study. I don't know what the outcome is. Pretty sure it doesn't matter.
Well, you're 100% correct about that part. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything. I don't know what to do with any of that information at all.
The next one is the closest to a normal one they have. The prize for medicine went to a study that found placebos work better if they cause a few painful side effects.
I guess that makes sense because your brain is
fake side effects. If you get the fake side effects, that means your body will be tricked into this.
Yeah, because your body's like, oh, the side effects are there, so it must be working. That actually is
kind of helpful.
Yeah,
that's kind of helpful.
Because now you have another level of like, how can we trick our brains into healing themselves?
And then we went
cool.
right back immediately to what? The physics prize went to a study that looked at the swimming abilities of dead trout.
But they're I clearly did the wrong thing in college. I should have done that. I should have been able to con someone out of like $400,000 of grant money to do that.
Reminds me of the Monty Python skit where the farmer's sitting there and you hear bah, bah, and this guy walks up and he's like, hey, what's going on here? And he's like, I have my sheep out there. There's the ringleader. He's trying to teach the other sheep how to fly. And you hear, bah, and they're like climbing up on stuff and jumping off of it. The guy's like, oh my God. He's like, hey, why don't you go out there and stop him? He says, imagine the amazing economic possibilities if one should succeed. That's a good point. If suddenly one of these sheep figure out how to fly,
if one of these dead trout
money
starts swimming, we might actually have something here.
Just crazy.
There's
they throw a bunch of dead fish into the water and be like, all right, pay attention, take notes.
There is a board of some government or some university that filed the grant to give this research funding. And I want to know who those people are so that I can laugh at them.
A lot of stuff gets rubber stamped. But let me just tell you, if I'm the president of the university where they were looking at the swimming abilities of dead trout, I guarantee you I'd walk in, I'd say two things. One, hey guys, congratulations on winning the Nobel Peace Prize. Two, you're all fired. You're gone, out. We're clearing, we're shutting this down. We're shutting this down.
I just thought that you had to at least kind of BS it a little bit better than that. That is so obviously, it just feels fraudulent just looking at it. What are you supposed to gain? Dead things can't swim. They're dead. That's
This
how
one-
death works.
This one's not as bad as the dead fish one, but it's close. The chemistry prize went to a study that used a process called chroma. I can't say it. Chromatography to make drunk and sober worms race each other. I don't think I need to know how to pronounce that word because no one should ever say it again. We don't need a process to help drunk and sober worms race each other. How does that help?
Why were you racing worms to begin with? Because like this stuff happens in stages. This might actually be worse than the fish thing because this is stages of this. Before you got to do drunk and sober worms race well, you had to start with what is it like when worms race? You had to waste
when
research.
worms get drunk. That's even weirder.
That's another layer of this. You had to ask all of those questions in sequence before you got to do worms race better drunk or sober. You had to ask what is a drunk worm like, and then you also had to ask what is it like when worms race. And who cares about any of the questions involved? Every level of this might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
There's more.
Really?
The biology prize went to an old study from 1941 where researchers would stand on a cow's back and pop a brown paper bag. They apparently were trying to see if they could scare cows into producing more milk. Boo!
And that was the plan. Yeah, like you thought that was going to be scary enough for a cow to go, oh bleep, and then just like what?
Like a frightened cow is going to make more milk, and you're going to do that by popping a bag. Pop. The prize for demographics went to a study that found places where people supposedly live the longest tend to have poor record keeping when it comes to when people were born.
That's actually
why are you winning a prize for this?
It's yeah, that's just obvious. If I don't record when people are born and die very well, then it's possible that many people slip through the cracks and are registered as living longer than they actually lived. This did not require research, nor is this so groundbreaking that it actually requires a Nobel Peace Prize. I'm hurt.
10 Nobel Peace Prizes, all of them weird and mostly completely useless except for one.
I would say 9 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10 if I'm being generous. Absolutely worthless.
So this is just an indication of the dumbing down of America. If this is the
Nobel Peace Prize is international. This is the whole world. Doomed. This is not America. This is everybody.
There's nowhere to hide now. The dump
it's everywhere.
Taken over. It's not just that you gave these guys the Nobel Prizes. You know what I'm saying? It's not just that. It's not just that they did stuff. You gave them a prize for it. So the Nobel people are drunk.
they looked at that because you know what? Those people did the research. I don't know that they thought that that some of them had to be completely shocked when they got their letter in the mail. What do you mean we won the Nobel Peace Prize? We were making drunk and sober worms race. How we were trying to get dead fish to swim. What do you mean we won the prize? I actually think that this is the committee of the Nobel Peace Prize's fault.
You know what this is? This is taking a schmuck to dinner. The Nobel Academy or whoever this is like, all right, everybody in your department, let's see what you got. And the prize for medicine, people are like, sorry, we're trying to help humanity. We're going to actually give it to something that matters. The rest of them are like, oh, no, we got this.
Hold my beer.
Dinner with schmucks is what this is. 8568 says, we think the biology Nobel Prize going to research from the 40s is a great idea. Sincerely, the Dallas Cowboys being Super Bowl champions. Well, it works that way. Hefty Lefty says, you know what would startle a cow? Sneak up on it and shove a pineapple in its butt. What? Oh, my God. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Jeez. No,
you also had an opportunity to tie this
5-layer burrito.
Yeah, that's exactly. You could have made that joke 10 times funny, but that's fine.
Bat Flipper says, now I know why I breathe better since I went commando last year. We had an underwear one? I don't think we had
I don't know if we had an underwear one.
Fish Tank says, FanDuel is about to pick up worm racing odds. 8073 says, this sounds like headlines from The Onion. I know, man.
But
I know.
they're real headlines.
Absolutely straight up real. Prison Wallet says, literally not a myth that the toilet water goes the opposite direction on the opposite atmosphere. That's science. I don't know why they're saying it's a myth here. I just read what it said.
That's what's in the article. I don't know.
Lost Toby says, it's not the Nobel Peace Prize, just the Nobel Prize in Science.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the Peace Prize is like,
oh, well, whatever. Still, it's got the
if you're an
Nobel
activist or
name
something
on it.
like that. But yeah,
This is like the Nobel Prizes for dumb crap. Harry Soap says, so if your butt could breathe, would you drown if you were swimming?
you drown extra.
I think maybe you just pucker up. Nothing gets in there. Quiet Cannon says, okay, did I hear you say the Nobel Prize winner found out men could breathe through their butt? Does that mean they're going to have to wear a mask down there to protect that? When COVID comes back, we're going to have a mask here and a mask here. I think it's like you could breathe through that area with
I feel like I don't feel like you don't need a mask if you're
you don't
already
just
wearing
stick a snorkel there and all of a sudden it's not how it works. You're absorbing oxygen there.
Also, you're wearing underwear and pants. Like what else? You're wearing 2 layers of covering that you're already masked. It's called getting dressed in the morning.
Seabass says, if we can breathe through our butts, does this explain why the Taco Bell guy is gonna eat a 5-layer burrito through his posterior? No, nothing explains.
Yeah,
that.
I think it's unrelated. I think those are 2 unrelated things. Yeah.
Beer Bob says, painting the bathroom, fish tank. Is that code for taking a big old deuce after you've had a few 5-layer beefy burritos from Taco Bell?
I've never referred to it as that. I might do that now.
Painting the bathroom.
Yeah,
I'm going to go paint the bathroom. Well, this is a good time to go paint the bathroom. When we come back, let's talk some NFL football, shall we? It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, sports fans, we've got exciting news. Beat the Book is now on daily from 2 to 3 p.m.
That's right. Just before the blender, we're going to explore the world of betting along with you on the text line.
Send us your betting comments and questions. Speaking of which, Dylan, what do you think if I throw down $20 on my Washington Commanders to win the Super Bowl? They're 120-1.
I don't know about that one, Keon.
You got a better idea, Mr. Beat the Book?
Of course I do. Just tune into The Fanatic. You've always got better ideas.
So join us for Beat the Book, now at 2 p.m. daily on The Fanatic. Brought to you by Sport Trade, a new app coming soon to Arizona.
Customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff. To recap, number 1, customize and save. Number 2, time allowing, save me. Shoulders separating.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary, underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harmon Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast at harmonsolar.com.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun, we bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
State Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Kind of want to move on and talk football, but now all of a sudden I have to clean up the text line of the Nobel Peace Prize winners. Let's not peace, but Nobel Prize winners. Moist one says, I probably have COPD of the butt. Okay, we're just moving on. Hamilton Porter says, Keon, who's more likely to be a national title contender, Texas or Tennessee? Oh, that's a good. Thank you for the palate cleansing text, Hamilton Porter.
I appreciate that. And as of this moment, I'll say Texas, because Texas, I think, on both sides of the ball is a stronger team. Where Tennessee, I still have questions about that defense, and I also think that when that offense for Tennessee, if it gets figured out, I don't know what the second punch is for them. So I'll say Texas but I feel like I just have more information on Texas, more so than Tennessee. If you ask me again in 5 weeks, my answer might be different.
There you go. Aiton's Army says, this Nobel Prize topic reminds me of the South Park episode where Martha Stewart shows everyone how to eat turkey with their butt. Yeah, I didn't see that one. Lost Toby says, CPR certification in 2024. That is a different type of class. Was that Keon? Hello?
Yeah, I was asking Randy if he was connected.
You know I could hear you.
I briefly forgot about that.
Yeah. Hi, Randy. You can turn to the mix minus bridge. He's ready. Just go ahead and hit that button.
Hello.
Hello, Randy. We can
Hello,
hear you.
Anyone
I can
here?
hear you. Yeah,
Hello?
stop doing that. Stop doing that.
Welcome to 3 o'clock here on the Daily Blender on this Wednesday.
Yeah, nice try. You're late. It's 4:23.
What?
You know.
How did that happen?
Can't stop time. But if you're like Cher, maybe you can turn back time. Ooh. Go put on the outfit, Randy.
Ooh.
Anyway, let's see. Let me get caught up here. Sir Drives a Lot says the guy keystering a beefy 5-layer is the odds-on favorite to win a Nobel Prize next year. You're probably not wrong.
All he had to do was go to some board of trustees and say, "Hey, look, here's a grant. Here's the research I'm doing, and I'm trying to prove that a 5-layer burrito can, in fact."
What?
You don't want to know, Randy. I just tell you right now, you don't want to know.
Keystering a burrito.
Just leave it. Just leave it.
It's just the 3 o'clock hour was weird.
Yeah.
Are we talking about
it was
Moist
weird.
One again?
No. That's a fair. Yeah, but no.
I mean, I can't blame you for assuming that, but somehow no.
Fighting Wampa says, I bet that study about butt breathing was done by mouth breathers who say, we're not so bad anymore. No,
what?
No, the butt breathing would be worse.
Butt breathing?
Just go with the flow.
What the hell
Randy.
did I miss?
Yeah, just
so much. A lot.
Yeah, we're going to get past this.
Nothing good, to be honest.
Fish Tank says, man, that paint in the bathroom joke was fantastic. That's going on the list with monkey meat, 6-pack of ass, and funky butt loving.
I don't know what I missed, but it sounded like a damn good time.
I'll tell you what, you don't worry about it. It's too much.
It was
to
50-50.
explain.
It was 50-50.
Too much to explain.
Monkey meat.
But now you're here, though. Let's talk
Sweet
about
monkey meat. Yeah.
Let's talk about the Diamondbacks, Randy.
Yep.
11-0.
Yep.
Giants last night.
Got their asses kicked last
Giants
night.
hit 5 homers. A couple of them were 3-run homers. So
Mm-hmm.
there's the score, 11-0. 2 games in a row we've lost to them. 3 games in a row we've lost. And this is a very pivotal and important part of the year. And you just said, don't panic. I'm panicking. Everybody panic. You can tell me how not to panic now. Tell me how not to panic.
Well, I can tell you this. The team that's trying to overtake us is still a half game behind us. We still have the third wild card position. And this team, the Atlanta Braves, the Bravos, have been rained out for 2 days. So in 3 days, they will play a regular doubleheader against the Metros the Metropolitans of New York. And I think at that time, the Mets will go ahead and beat the Bravos in 2 games. We will be in, and everything will be fine. Here's the problem I see. If the Padres, who wrapped up locking themselves into the postseason last night with a triple play against the
very impressive
Los Angeles Dodgers, Los Angeles Dodgers. They play the Los Angeles Dodgers again tonight. And by the end of this series with the Dodgers, the Padres could be in a tie with the Dodgers to tie up the National League West. In which case, that would bump everybody down, and the Diamondbacks would be out of playoff contention anyway. So we need the Dodgers to win, and we need the Mets to win.
You forgot one thing. We need the Diamondbacks to win.
I didn't think I was going to have to ask any of us on this radio program to ask the lousy Dodgers to win, but because they can't take care of their own business, we need the Dodgers to win. So Diamondback fans, everywhere you are, you need to be putting out the good spirit for not only the Dodgers, but the Metropolitans of New York.
Asking me to root for the Mets and the Dodgers in the same. This might actually be one of the worst days of my life.
I know, Keon.
This might be one of the worst days of my life.
I know, but your Washington Nationals are not in this playoff run. The Diamondbacks are, and this is where you're living. And so now you need to buck up, Charlie, and you need to go ahead and root for both Diamondbacks, Dodgers, and Metropolitan.
I'll hold my nose and do it. But this is one of the worst days of my life. I just want to say,
I understand.
Just tell me when this is over.
Well,
I can't do it.
I can't tell you that. Tonight, the Diamondbacks will wrap up their season against the Giants. The Mets and the Bravos both have the tiebreaker on the Diamondbacks because they did not take care of business when they had the opportunity. And so now the Diamondbacks need to win, and they also need the Mets to beat the Bravos.
4 games left. We got 4 games left.
That's right. That's right. Tonight, and then 3 against the Pods at home. It's going to be a home series. Diamondback fans, wherever you are, if you are within the sound of my voice, you need to show up to one or more of these games this weekend against the Padres, and we need to beat them down.
I don't know if I feel sufficiently talked off the ledge.
Well, I can't tell you anymore. All I do is I speak the truth like I'm flowing like a bottle of Drano.
I still don't know what that means.
Yes, I speak the truth like flowing like a bottle of Drano.
Big George says, Randy, it doesn't matter if the Padres beat the Dodgers. They already clinched playoff spots. They're just battling for the NL West crown.
I know
all
that,
the power of the Padres beat the Dodgers, but also the Braves and Mets won't play a doubleheader until Monday. Also, Diamondbacks are tied with the Braves in the loss column, meaning if the Braves win out, we miss the playoffs. We no longer control our own destiny. We are not sweeping the Padres, by the way.
I think that's exactly what I just said, Big George. We need to win and keep winning. And we need the Bravos to lose because the Bravos have the season tiebreaker on us. And by the way, if the Padres beat the Dodgers, now we've got the Dodgers locked in on the number 1 wild card. The Padres will win the division, have a bye, and the Diamondbacks will play the Brewers like they did last year if the Diamondbacks can pull out some wins. And that's a simple right there. That's simple arithmetic. It's a simple addition and subtraction right there, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the way it's going to go down.
Silver Pops wants to know if Randy can get a Nobel Prize for his extraordinary, revolutionary, and captivating weather reports. I don't think they have a Nobel Prize for weather.
If they have a guy who's proven you can breathe out of your butt.
Oh, there's worse than that.
I should get a weather report Nobel Peace Prize. As a matter of fact.
I'll nominate you.
Thanks.
Matter of fact, what though?
Well, I was going to ask one of you guys to nominate me.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Jeffco.
Fubar 1000 says, hey, Blender dudes. So, Blender, how are you all doing in fantasy? You 0-3 now? No, I'm 2-1. What are you talking about, Fubar?
I'm 1-2. I'm 1-2. I beat
I'm
Ralph
also-
this past week.
I'm also 1-2.
Yeah, I helped Keon become 1-2, but I helped Randy become 1 because he beat me. I don't know.
Did I beat you? No, I didn't
Didn't
beat you. You beat me.
Oh,
Yeah, I
who
think
beat me?
you beat Randy.
I was 0-2 going
Oh.
into this weekend. Now I'm 1-2 because I beat the doors off Ralph.
So I lost to the first guy I played, whoever that was.
It wasn't me.
Hey, I beat you guys. All right.
Yeah, you beat me.
Oh, or don't you ever forget it. Lost
Uh-huh.
Toby says could have been 14-0. Well, could have been 82
You know,
to nothing.
Lost Toby, take that negativity and blow it out your butt because it's been proven you can do that. And why don't you just quit texting in with all your negativity, Jack?
Why are you so mad at Lost Toby?
Well, he comes in here with all his negativity all the time. And now that somebody's won a Nobel Peace Prize for breathing through your ass, go ahead, Lost Toby. Start breathing.
See, your joke should be it'll be harder for you to breathe that way with your head up there. See, that just because you.
Oh, see, that's a good
blocking your
That
airway.
was good, Jeffco. Yeah,
Hamilton. I got nothing against Lost Toby.
I like that. I don't either.
I was helping you
Really.
write it.
I
Hamilton
don't.
Porter says, "Have you seen the jerseys the Lions are wearing on Monday? Might be their best alliteration in years. Which
No.
iteration is this?
No, see, I don't follow the Lions after what happened here in Phoenix. I don't follow the damn Lions.
I never followed the Lions. You'll have to tell us, Hamilton Porter.
Yeah, send us pictures.
Moist One says, wait, Randy, the Dodgers and Padres would just swap places. It wouldn't change second or third wild card.
Would you go ahead and look up the MLB standings and who has the number one wild card spot right now?
I'll do it.
It's the Padres, isn't it?
Hold on. I'm clicking buttons.
If the Padres win the division, guess who the number one wild card would be?
In the wild card, the San Diego Padres have clinched the number one wild card position.
Yeah, but if they sweep the Dodgers, okay,
the Dodgers drop down to the wild
the
card. and
Dodgers
Padres
will
would be the
drop
division.
down into the number one wild card spot, and the Padres will have a bye
Ew.
because they will be the National League West champions.
Well, how does that affect the Mets and the Diamondbacks right now?
Well, what it affects is the Padres are no longer in trouble by anybody. They are the guys that will win the West if they sweep the Dodgers. Remember, they were only 3 games down going into this series against the Dodgers. Now they're 2 games behind the Dodgers after last night.
I see. So I'm looking at the expanded standings, and I think that's what Randy's talking about.
Mm-hmm. And the Diamondbacks need the Metropolitans to win. That's why we need to be Padre and Metropolitan fans moving forward. And if I'm not mistaken, Zach Ellen's on the hill tonight.
You are correct.
Thank you.
Let's see. Big George says no. Moist One's correct. The swapping of the Padres and Dodgers won't change the Diamondbacks' playoff prospects.
No, it won't. But I'm telling you, I don't want to see the Dodgers win another damn National League West series. I don't want to see them win another pennant in the National League West. I don't want to see that. I want them to have to work for it because I said from the beginning of time they've spent almost $2 billion on their lineup. And I think it's funny as hell that the Dodgers are scrapping in the last couple of series of the season to win the National League West.
It is very fun.
Funny as hell.
Hamilton Porter just sent over pictures of the Lions jerseys for this weekend, but they just feels like they just raided the closet of the Titans. The jersey, it's got
Really?
the blue numbers and the jersey's black and there's some
Oh,
stripes and then just
Oh.
I don't know.
Come
I
on.
don't care.
And
for
the helmet. The helmet is that
right.
is that
Stripe.
Hawaiian blue and it looks very
Listen, I
Titans.
like
It-
that Hawaiian blue. I like
I
it.
do, but I just
Tennessee
but-
keep it on the
Oh,
uniform. Don't put it on the
God.
helmet. That's not
Why
the
do
Li-
they- why
the
do these
Lions have
guys-
silver helmets. That's what
This
they
is-
have.
Yeah, this is going to
That's what I
suck
mean.
seeing this.
Why do these guys have to change their uniforms all the damn time?
Hamilton Porter likes
Money.
it, but we all hate it.
You gotta. I mean, if you change the uniforms, then people have to buy them. And
Last week's
people have
all
proven they buy
black.
'em.
Last week's all black Cardinals uniform, I hated because I didn't know who the hell
Yeah,
was
you know
playing.
what? I asked my wife if she liked them, and she's like, "Yeah." And I said, "Doesn't that seem like something you should wear at night, though?" You know, I feel like
Yeah,
that
like
was
a night game.
Yeah, like jerseys.
See,
for
that would
like
be
a prime
see,
time game. Where you
yeah.
gotta look.
There you go. There you go. Night ops. The
Right.
the Cardinals night ops uniform. It'd be like on a Thursday night or Sunday night football or Monday night football game.
But we all agree the black helmet with the logo and that kind of like weird gradient, like that super shellacked look on that helmet's kind of cool though.
I like
Slow Mo Zo says wife works at Banner. She got free tickets to Saturday's game. Go Diamondbacks. Oh, good for you, Slow Mo Zo.
Hey, congrats.
There we go. There we go.
Lost Toby says, hey, Randy White.
Yes.
That was a positive comment. Okay. When I said it could have been 14-0, Corbin Carroll robbed a 3-run home run.
Oh, that's
or you
true.
could have
Yeah.
said blow it in your ass. Blowing out your ass was always an option. But yeah, again, it's the Nobel Prize in Science, not the Nobel Peace Prize. Did this research for Randy. The Nobel Prize in Physics is awarded to meteorologists and other scientists for their work on climate change. But
See
there
that?
is also another award that recognizes outstanding work in meteorology.
There it is.
So, but he says, I rescind my nomination of you, though.
Oh, no, Lost Toby. I'm sorry. I did not understand
the IMO prize.
Where you were coming from. But hey, listen, you got to do what you got to do. I appreciate that. I just thought you were teasing and taunting me. And it never goes well.
Don't worry, Randy. I've got your back. I'll nominate you.
Thanks, brother.
Fubar 1000 says, here's your weather report from Central Arizona. Cold in the morning, hot in the afternoon. Hear me. Go ASU.
Well, I mean, it's not really cold.
No, he's probably up north or something.
I mean, mid 70s. If he's up north, then yeah.
North of us is Central Arizona.
I mean, I could see that if he's up north.
Are we Central Arizona?
No, we're kind of south central.
I've lived here since 1984, but here I am now going to get a map of Arizona to
it's south
properly identify hell we are.
See, Munns Park, it's 54 overnight, 60s, mid 60s, mid 50s. Yeah,
I'd
it's
say
getting
Central
cool.
Arizona is Prescott, Payson, that kind of stuff.
Munns Park, Flagstaff.
We are just below the Central Arizona line. We're the top of Southern Arizona.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're top Southern Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah. And then where Arizona is, that's the toilet.
Well, that's Mexico.
That's the septic tank of Arizona.
I think that's Mexico. Look, I mean, Tucson and Nogales almost line up perfectly. You could call them the same thing, Mexico.
Silver Pop says, Randy, sir, as a Diamondbacks fan, I want the Snakes to win it all, but it's difficult when Torrey is using load management with his best players. Does he not realize the situation they're in, or is he that confident that we will still clinch?
Listen, I don't take any responsibility for Torey Lovullo's coaching antics, and I think a lot of stuff he does is wrong. Like resting Ketel Marte when we are in the midst of a playoff run. No, there's no days off in a playoff run. No days off. And I don't know what the hell. I tuned into a game this past weekend. Corbin Carroll, McCarthy, and Ketel Marte were all on the bench and all in the dugout when the Diamondbacks were in the field. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
8568 says, this is a great time for the Diamondbacks to pull out a Michael Hutchins impersonation. So if you're a fan of InXS, the lead singer, just kind of Google how he died. Swave Dave says, can we start telling people to blow it out their lower air hole? I believe so, yes. Big George says, agreed, Randy. The $1 billion payroll of the Dodgers can't even get him a division title. 50-50 Shohei Ohtani, still not enough. You can't put a price on that good old-fashioned World Series winning formula.
I love it.
Clubhouse chemistry.
Yeah. I love it. Big George. And I think you and I, a lot of times, aside from your fire everybody, crazy blasts, I think we think the same a lot. It's just like I think Jeffrey and Keon think the same as I do. Sometimes the manager's got to use his intuition. Sometimes the manager's got to use analytics. And I think Torey Lovullo uses too much analytics and not enough intuition. And but by the way, Torey Lovullo went to UCLA. Hey, what does he have to gain by the Diamondbacks winning a championship? Why don't we get some Arizona talent in here being the head coach? I submit my name to be the head coach of the damn Diamondbacks moving forward.
I will second that motion.
Thank you.
Somebody's got to say it's carried, though. I don't know who that would be.
I don't know.
It's
I
carried.
thought Keon would.
I don't think he's.
I
he's
don't know if I had the authority to say
Yeah.
it, so I didn't say anything.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody from the Diamondbacks has to carry the motion.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's get on the damn
Yeah.
horn. I mean,
Seriously, Randy, you need to brush up on your Rogers rules of orders. Okay.
well, I'm sorry about that. So-
Quiet Cannon says the D-backs will be playing the Padres, who will be trying to win the National League West. So we're going to be up against a tough Padres series this weekend.
Not if they sweep the Dodgers and they take a tie into the series with the Diamondbacks. Who do the Dodgers play after the Padres? Dodgers remaining schedule. There it is. They got the Padres. The Dodgers. And then they're going to play the Rockies.
Las Toby says, as the self-appointed representative of Mexico, the Mexican Federation declines your offer of Tucson. Damn. We're going to have to reapply with someone else next. Halfy Lefty says, you know who didn't take days off? Wilt Chamberlain. He averaged 48.5 minutes per game for a season one year.
Can I ask why Wilt Chamberlain has been brought up in this meeting about the Diamondbacks?
Talking about not taking days off. He always played like every minute of every game. That's
the
a good
ultimate
comparison.
Not taking
Look, man,
days off
Cal,
guy.
you could have come up with Cal Ripken Jr. He
That's
didn't
true.
take days off.
That's true.
Yeah, Stan Musial, he didn't take days off.
But they probably only like ever made love to one woman. Wilt Chamberlain, he played all those minutes while bagging every piece of ass he could get his hands on for
Well,
all of those years. That man was exhausted.
Not going to lie, that's true.
So who really did the work?
Man was a hound.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Well, maybe that's the way he relaxed. I have no answer.
On and off the
no
court.
an- yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain was burning thousands of calories a day.
Silver Pop says, Randy, according to Ralph, the Dodgers are hurt. He has said that many, many times.
Oh my God! When is he going to get
It's-
off this? The Dodgers have so many injuries. You know what?
Ralph's
Eh,
a one-hit wonder, and that's his biggest hit.
When
The Dodgers are hurt. When they get healthy.
win or lose, Jack.
One of-
I don't
one of
want to
these
hear
years.
$750 million this year they paid to buy a World Series, and guess what? They're fighting for their lives, and I see them drowning. They're splashing all around the waves right now. Help me! Help! And the Padres are dunking them. That's what they're doing.
In the shallow end of the pool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Keon, should we take a break or something?
We should. We could.
At no
consider that.
point in the last 5 minutes did you even do a thing. I'm just wondering if you feel like we should take a break or not. But
Personally, I like to keep the party going. Honestly,
You know,
that's
I'm not-
really my. But
not above it.
But you know,
I'm just saying.
I could have been more
Diamondback-
responsible there.
Diamondback fans, nobody panic. Jeffco, I know it seems bleak, but it's always darkest before the light.
Oh, brother. Silver Pops wants to know if we can get Merrill Kelly some Midol for his cramps. Would that actually work? I wonder if that actually works.
Doesn't it have like aspirin in it or something?
I don't know.
And like caffeine, something. I don't know.
Oh, he jokes, but I wonder if that would work. All right. Well, I'm going to go ask my wife. Well, maybe not. Randy, go ask your wife. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, sports fans, we've got exciting news. Beat the Book is now on daily from 2 to 3 p.m.
That's right. Just before the blender, we're going to explore the world of betting along with you on the text line.
Send us your betting comments and questions. Speaking of which, Dylan, what do you think if I throw down $20 on my Washington Commanders to win the Super Bowl? They're 120 to 1.
I don't know about that one, Keon.
You got a better idea, Mr. Beat the Book?
Of course I do. Just tune into the Fanatic. You've always got better ideas.
So join us for Beat the Book, now at 2 p.m. daily on the Fanatic. Brought to you by Sport Trade, a new app coming soon to Arizona.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-791-1313. That's 800-791-1313.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is paired right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy Hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game in a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now with 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa. And outrun a few.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
If it's local, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. We're going to move on to NFL here in a moment. You know, but I will say this. There's one thing I can say that makes everybody feel better. At least we're not the White Sox.
That's true.
Woof. Did you see that? 4 guys. They were going to watch this game, and they popped up a fly ball. The Los Angeles Angels pop up a fly ball on the White Sox, and the pitcher and the catcher, the first baseman, I don't know who the other guy was. 4 guys converged. I got it. And then it just hit the ground. This brain trust right here just watched it hit the ground.
That's their season in a nutshell. That one play is their whole season. If they could have just done that instead of gone out and played baseball every day, I think that they would have saved them all a lot more time and energy.
Saddest thing I've ever seen.
This is my thought. How would you like to end your baseball season in Chicago on the South Side, in White Sox territory? That's where all the gunfire is.
Mm-hmm.
The Angels have 2 more games against the White Sox in Chicago.
Why
oh
don't
my God!
They should just cancel it, because the Angels aren't in it, the White Sox aren't in it. These games don't mean anything.
Well, I'll tell you. Also, the Detroit Tigers play the White Sox for 3 games. So the Detroit Tigers,
they are in it, aren't they?
Ladies and gentlemen,
they are right now. Yeah,
may be in the damn wild card, and they may get in the postseason. The Detroit Tigers.
So the Tigers playing the White Sox. The White Sox could be spoilers. They can't be anything. So they're going to get swept.
Well, they did win last night.
God, I wish we were playing them
against the Angels.
that would be nice. The ultimate get right team, the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, you're right, Randy. Winning last night kept them from passing the 69 Mets for the most losses in a season since the 1900s. So at least they did that. So maybe that's all they needed
for now.
Maybe that's all they needed.
Oh, just to feel better.
I don't know. The White Sox had a chance. See, here's the thing. This is irony playing out before our very eyes. The White Sox could have had A.J. Hinch, former Diamondbacks manager, ended up in Houston, was caught up in that sneaking video cheating scandal for the World Series, and then was banned from baseball for a year. Oh, Pete Rose bet on baseball. He's lifetime banned. But AJ, he cheated a World Series championship, still got the bonus, still got the money, still got the ring, but we're only going to ban him a year. But anyway, I'm off my soapbox. Hey, here's the irony. The White Sox could have had AJ Hinch, but they chose for Tony. I've got a wine cellar, La Russa.
Now look at him.
And the rest is history.
That dude doesn't have a wine cellar. He's got a giant box of wine.
He's got a wine cellar full of wine, and he drinks all day.
Granted, his good year is like 2017. It's not. He's drinking it a lot. Doesn't go back that far.
He drinks it all day.
Doesn't go back that far.
Fubar 1000 says, "Hey, I know. Let's make a radio movie called The Sports World According to Ralph."
What? Why?
So just be him talking about how everybody's hurt.
Yeah, it'll
same thing with the Lakers. He did the same thing.
Yeah,
with
no, it's nothing changes. That's all the LA teams. Everybody's hurt all the time. Wah. Now we've got
all my teams have critical injuries.
If we were healthy, we'd be better than you. Well, guess what? You're not healthy. You're never healthy, so you're not. That's it. That's the end of the conversation.
Speaking of which, Ralph's not even healthy right now.
That's a good point.
Well,
Ralph is also critically injured. Go ahead and add him to the Dodgers injury report.
Yeah, remember his COVID got the flu. That's how sick he is right now.
Well,
Ralph's on the IL for he's on the 15-day IL.
I feel bad for him.
I feel bad for him. That's got to be awful.
Tijuas says, "Arriba los Padres."
No, it's Los Padres. Los.
What did I say?
Los.
Whatever. Fighting Wampa says
Wilt
Caucasian. Chamberlain should win the Nobel Prize. Oh, he won the prize.
For what?
It doesn't matter. He won the prize.
For shagging the most ladies or?
Bow, chicka, wow, wow. Lots Toby says hitting in a triple play to end the game was the Dodgers foreshadowing their postseason run.
And the thing about that was Mookie Betts hit into the triple play. He was the guy that hit into it. And Manny Machado, who usually has the speed, it's slow and deliberate. He actually hustled on that play.
Wow. You know what? It takes a lot to get Manny Machado moving.
And he was moving.
That guy's
done and done.
Try not to just accuse people of this, but Manny Machado might actually be one
Manny
of the
Machado is he's got a very deliberate move.
Manny Machado plays baseball like a guy who's got a very big paycheck that he knows is coming to him either way.
Mm-hmm.
Beer Bob says, "Bad enough you guys don't mute Ralph's mic when he's there." He says, "Can you guys block his number on the text line so he can't shine in when he's not there?"
We like Ralph. I mean, we like making fun of. We like Ralph, though.
You guys love Ralph being here. Come on.
Fish Tank says, "Randy, I got a question only you can answer.
Okay.
Have you ever played an electric drum set? I just
Yes, I
bought
have.
one, and thus far my reviews are mixed. Hoping maybe I'll get used to it."
Well, I don't know what did you buy and where'd you buy it from? Was it used?
He said it was an electric drum set.
Well, where did he buy it
like
from?
The brand, I guess.
What was the type? I have played several electric drum sets. I'm not a big fan, but it's good if one of your kids is playing drums.
He doesn't have any kids.
So, but if you
live in a house with somebody who doesn't want to hear drums all the time,
like if you get that,
because then all you hear is clack, 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 clack.
well, you tippy, 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 tippy.
but that's easier to tune out.
Oh yeah,
Like that person can put on some headphones and be fine. If
Unless
you're really just killing it on the drums and they're actual drums, unless they're noise canceling, you're not having a good day.
I had a drum set one time, and the neighbor came over, and I couldn't play it in my neighborhood.
Damn.
I had to take it somewhere, play it.
Slow Mo Zo says, Saturday's game is German Heritage Celebration. Me being half German, getting a free hat. That's a bonus. What an
Saturday
odd thing for them to suddenly celebrate.
Saturday's game.
On Diamondbacks.
Oh,
Jet
the Diamond
says
is German heritage.
I guess.
Well, one of the games against the Padres is Italian heritage, and Miss Kim wants me to take her to the game.
Take her. Don't say no.
I want to.
The Jet says, yes, it all works for men. When it's 112 degrees outside and you're on the field for 12 hours, you can pop a couple of Midol when you're cramping and it goes away like within 30 minutes.
Never heard of that.
Because
I'll be darned.
they're just muscles. So
Cramps is cramps.
yeah.
I never heard of that.
Harry Soap says, I agree with Randy. When it comes to the Diamondbacks, the motto should be the Apollo Creed saying from Rocky 2, there is no tomorrow.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Ringless Joe says, it's crazy you can still get 3-0 Steelers and Seahawks to win their division at longer odds than the 1-2 49ers and Ravens. Bias from last year is killing the bettors' wallets.
Listen, I believe the Steelers are not going to win that decision like gangbusters. It's going to be a battle for them. They're 3-0 right now. I mean, enjoy it, Steeler fans, but you still have to go through the Bengals. You still have to go through the Ravens. You still have to go through, the rest of your division to win that division. So we'll wait and see, won't we?
Hamilton Porter says, as a Jew, won't be going to Saturday's game, apparently.
They play Sunday. Go to the one on Sunday.
Hamilton, it sounds like you've just been informed of this. That as a Jew, you won't be going to the game because it's Saturday.
Take back German night.
I think it's the German heritage.
Jesus, yes. Sorry.
That's the German heritage on Saturday that he's.
I like trying to say Jewish people couldn't go on Saturdays. No, he's just like, maybe I'll avoid that crowd.
He's not worried about the Shabbat. He's worried about.
That's it. Yeah. Probably want to avoid that. There are jokes. I'm just going to let them go. There are jokes. And the text line is piled up. We'll get caught up when we come back. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed the law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Kari Lake. Kari and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Kari Lake for Senate.
I'm Kari Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kari Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch, so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin. And over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257 CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime. When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, boy, you got all kind of people there on the text line still. I keep trying to clean it up, but it keeps getting dirty.
Keeps filling up. Yeah.
So let's just blast through this as fast as we can.
Are you saying they're dirty texts?
Well,
on the
Moist
text
One
line?
is the next one, so we'll see.
Okay.
Moist One says, disgusted that 3 AL Central teams are going to get in because their wins are inflated by playing the White Sox 16 times a year.
Oh, that's good point.
That's fair. That is fair.
That's a good text from Moist One.
Yeah.
It's his one cleanie of the day.
Wow.
So the next one's going to be
filthy. Just nasty.
Grime. Yeah.
Like, call your mom and apologize, even though she didn't hear the show. You know? Silver Pop says Detroit has the Lions, the Tigers, the Pistons, and the Red Wings. Personally, Red Wings are nothing to brag about. Okay.
Used to be though.
Once upon a time.
Big George says, isn't Ralph the one who said Suns fans couldn't make excuses last year and the year before for players being injured? But now he uses the same excuse for his Dodgers?
It's so much worse than that. Ralph has been so much more hypocritical than that because Anthony Davis has been playing on his Lakers team the entire time he's been saying that.
You guys know that
his team employs street clothes.
He predicted like 13 wins or something for the Seattle Seahawks. And then when they didn't happen, he just denies it that he didn't say
He
it.
predicted a double-digit Dodgers divisional.
He accepts no responsibility.
A divisional game lead by the end of the season. That he predicted that. It's not even close. The Dodgers may not even win the division.
Hefty Lefty says the White Sox have 3 times more losses than Tony Gwynn ever struck out in a season.
Well, I don't know why the late great Tony Gwynn has anything to do with this, but
it's just
very well
because
All
strikeouts. You even if great players strike out a lot, and the White Sox are like, yeah, what if we just couldn't even win that many games?
Look, I don't know why everybody's piling on the White Sox. It's not their fault. They have Jerry Reinsdorf as an owner. It's not the Chicago Bulls' fault.
But
they have Jerry Reinsdorf as the owner,
which is true, and he's cheap. But like that's still an astoundingly bad team.
Well, I know it's an astoundingly bad team. Why? Because they made the wrong choice. Because Reinsdorf wanted La Russa, the wino, to come in and rule his team, and they didn't respect Tony La Russa. They just got away with murder. I mean, so to speak. They didn't really actually. I mean, I know Chicago is like,
there's a lot of murder there.
A lot of murder there, but I didn't mean the ball players were actually roaming the streets.
They might be. We don't know.
Committing no. Where was it? Oh, they didn't respect Tony La Russa, and they don't have any respect for the current manager. What they need to do is they need to trade away everybody on that team, and they need to bring in some new guys that want to play baseball.
Quiet Cannon says, I just looked at the National League Lockhart standings. San Diego's first, New York Mets second, Diamondbacks third. We need somebody to knock off the Mets to solidify the Diamondbacks' second wild card spot.
I don't know why June Lockhart has anything to do with baseball. The last I checked, she was in June Lockhart. Wasn't she in some sort of Lost in Space or something?
She was the mom.
Back in the
mom,
day.
yeah.
She was the mom, right? Yeah.
Pretty
June
sure
Lockhart.
she's dead now.
Don't know why she has standings for baseball.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Dewana Bonner playing tonight. Just hit a free throw. Don't mind if I do. Slow-mo Zoe says, Randy, Italian Heritage Celebration Friday. That's Friday.
It's
You're
Friday
gonna
night?
go Friday night.
I want to take Miss Kim.
What time is that game?
It's 6:40, I believe. But I got to figure out a way to get some tickets to go see that game.
You could make that game. Seabass says when they're talking about it's 5 o'clock somewhere, they're talking about us right here, right now in Arizona. Over. Well, yeah, because it's 5 o'clock.
Man,
This
5 o'clock
this is
here.
it?
We're the somewhere.
It's
right now.
actually
We
5
are the
o'clock.
someone?
Drink freely, my friends.
Didn't know that.
The Jet says, I got my Red Wings when I was 15. Of course, she said she didn't know.
What?
What? Silver Pop says, when I say Red Wings, I'm not talking about the sports team. Ringless Joe says, as a Detroit Lion fan, I revel in the pain of Chicago fans. The White Sox suck, the Bears suck, and Caleb Williams is a bust. Sweet revenge.
But how 3 games in? How is Keon? Can you help me out here, brother? Because there's no way he's a bust after 3 games.
It's even the worst quarterback. Jamarcus Russell wasn't a bust after 3 games. He was a bust for a number of things that happened after that, like never looking at his playbook, not once. That's the kind of stuff that over time you can't come back from. Caleb Williams may turn out to be a bust, but I don't think you can decide that now, 3 games into an entire career. That's crazy.
Hamilton Porter says, Randy, make sure you go on Friday or you might end up rolled up in a rug in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? It's how the Italians deal with stuff. Do you have a lot of rugs around the house?
Talk to the fishes.
Because if you have rugs around the house, that's just any moment you're going to get rolled into one.
Friday night is are they going to have that Italian beef sandwich out there?
Probably. More than likely on Italian Heritage Night.
Wait, is it good? I've never had it.
Oh my God. Oh.
I might go to Italian Heritage Night.
One of the nice things about Italian Heritage Night is they space out the seats because there has to be an empty seat in between Italians because they're talking with their hands, so they had to, they had to make sure there was space in between the Italians, or else there's gonna be assault charges. It's just gonna get ugly.
All right.
Big George says, actually, June Lockhart, she's still alive. She's 99.
No kidding.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Like Betty White. I mean that.
No, Betty White's dead.
That's always done it for Jeffco, the older ladies.
Hello.
I mean, there's a difference between older and nonagenarian.
I mean that cottage cheese legs.
Stop.
Oh yeah.
Boy, by 99, there ain't no cheese.
It's just, he loves that. Yeah.
The Jets says Caleb Williams is not a bust. He's just as good as Justin Fields, but the offense and the offensive line sucks.
Yeah. Well,
just like it did for Justin Fields, who now apparently looks like at least a starting level NFL quarterback.
He looks like a usable NFL athlete, right?
Hey, Les Toby's going to the game
on Friday.
It says I don't know. He just sent me his ticket. He's in Section A, Row C, Seat 7. And it says Wednesday, 6:40 p.m.
That's tonight.
That is tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Ringless Joe says Keon, he has lower QBR rating than Bryce Young, who got benched, Will Levis, and Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, you can try to do this thing where you look at quarterback stats in a vacuum if you'd like. You put Bryce Young behind that offensive line, it's lower. You put Trevor Lawrence behind that offensive line, it's lower. Trevor Lawrence actually has time to throw the football and is making bad decisions. There are no good decisions behind that Bears offensive line. It's horrible. I don't think I've ever seen a guy start a 3-step drop and on step 2 start getting sacked.
I think the average in the NFL release time is like 2 seconds, 2+. And with the Chicago Bears, it's like half a second.
Yeah, he stands up and the play is over. And it's only because he's Caleb that some of the plays even happen in the first place. No, you're not going to do the quarterback stats with no context. I watched the games. He's not bad.
All I can think of is the poor man trapped in a vacuum. Just picturing Ringless Joe
just like people tried to convince me Justin Fields was the worst quarterback that ever happened to the NFL, and then he left the Bears. I think the problem might be the Bears.
I think Ringless Joe's probably too big to fit in the vacuum.
That's a lot of people.
Fish Tank says, if I was a Bears fan, I'd be less upset about Caleb Williams' play and more upset that maybe Justin Fields might actually be competent. But your coaching staff is just going to hold anyone down who shows up there.
Yeah, like if you can't make a couple of top 15 quarterbacks you drafted work, maybe it's not the quarterbacks. Like at some point, we have to look at the Bears and their organization and that GM, Ryan Poles. I like him. They have not fixed the offensive line in the 3 years he's had the job.
Oh, so he's been there 3 years.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask you, how long has Ryan Poles
Yeah, he's been there for 3 years. And like, it's just never, materialized.
Do you see any improvements at all in the Bears in his tenure?
I have. They've gotten more dynamic at wide receiver. They drafted Rome Odunze. They went and got Keenan Allen, who's, perpetually injured, but
what are they missing though, Cam?
The O-line is the biggest thing they're missing because the defense is actually really good. That's gotten better every year that they've had that roster. And I actually think that they probably could run the football if the offensive line worked, but it's affecting every part of that offense. It's impossible to get a good read on what that team could be if you have 5 guys starting at offensive line that wouldn't start on any other team at those positions.
Kyle G says Caleb Williams will be a great quarterback, just not Chicago. Trevor Lawrence making Jags fans nostalgic for Blaine Gabbert now.
I don't know about that. You should go back and watch Blaine Gabbert. Even though, you know what? Blaine Gabbert did have a run to an AFC title game where he lost to Tom Brady, and that kept him out of a Super Bowl. So maybe there is something there.
Moist One says, sorry, Randy, I can't make the game Friday. Andrew Dice Clay is in town.
Okay.
By the way, Biscuits and Gravy, if you're listening, you somehow blocked yourself out of. Remember, I was trying to read his text. It says, "What if he takes the ingredients and does it and then stop?" I tried to say to type a thing to him, and when I hit on it, it said error adding subscriber. That subscriber has opted out of receiving messages.
So he must have typed some version of stop, quit, no. So something like that, and it told him.
So I can't even say, "Hey, buddy, you just got yourself out." So, sorry, Biscuits.
You're gonna have to type resume.
I thought it was something wrong with
an
the system.
awful lot of shame.
He'll realize it. He'll realize it the next time he tries to hit the show, and it's like, sorry.
I'm not listening to the show anymore. Jeff O'Brien won't even read my text.
He keeps telling me I opted out. Why does he keep saying that?
I don't know, man. Seller Pop says, guys. Let's talk about how dominant the She-Hawks have been.
Guys.
How about known? Go bleep yourself.
Yeah.
Wrangless Joe says, okay, I can see the Bears suck and kill quarterbacks. The Panthers kind of do too. Maybe Bryce Young isn't as bad as he looked.
Ever since Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold have left the Panthers, they have looked like infinitely better quarterbacks because they're on teams with better weapons. Like the environment for quarterback matters. And everybody can't be Tom Brady and play on a roster with nothing and make it work.
Being a quarterback with the Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, that's a plus, isn't it? With Mike Tomlin? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I would run through fire barefoot for Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin got more out of Mason Rudolph than any person ever will.
That's what
again.
I mean. I mean, that guy seems to get the most out of the players.
So now that we're talking the NFL, we're officially talking NFL now.
Yes.
Keon, can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Will you apologize to your sister on behalf of my family?
Oh, geez.
Because our boy, even though he's in college now, he's still our boy. He's playing in the same league as your sister. And he keeps sending these crazy trades. She has got to be just done. Annoyed with all the trade offers that keep coming her way.
She's a quiet person, so she didn't say much. I'll have to talk about it because I'm actually curious.
Ask her, hey, have you been Has there been a lot of trade offers in your league? She's going to roll her eyes immediately.
I'm sure. I'm
the
100% positive about this.
And this one got canceled, but here's what it says: Amari Cooper, Christian McCaffrey, and Pollard in exchange for CeeDee Lamb and Irving. So she would get 3, and that's the trade. That's all he does. He sits around trying to come up with trades.
I didn't know Kyrie Irving played basketball or baseball.
His brother, Bob Irving.
Irving.
From the Tampa Bay.
Bucky Irving.
Yeah. So you just apologize. Say that's just what he does.
I'll let her.
Yeah. I keep seeing the emails of the trade offer, trade canceled, trade offer, trade canceled. It's like he's just relentless.
Yeah. And it's Some people say that's how you get stuff done. You've got to cross a sufficiently stubborn person, I guess, to learn the lesson. Like, if my sister doesn't want to trade with you, it's not happening. It will never happen.
Well, it's not a hard thing that you deal with. You just click nope,
or just flat out ignore it.
What happened to Moiswin? Moiswin gave me a trade offer of Brock Purdy in exchange for Jalen Hurts, because I was saying the other day that I might entertain a trade because Jalen Hurts' numbers have hurts me. You know, they've not been over 20, really. I think it was 25 one week or something. And I was feeling like, oh, boy, if I could have Brock Purdy, I think I'd rather have that. Hell, Sam Darnold looking pretty good right now, you know? So but he put a trade up, and then I didn't get a chance to even think about it. He canceled.
Maybe he changed his mind. Yeah.
I think he was just messing with me.
That's also possible. It is the Moist.
In the Premier League, I don't remember the last time a trade actually happened. I honestly, years.
Yeah, because the good players are so scarce that the players you actually have on your roster that you like, you just keep those guys. Like, why would you ever trade them?
Moisman says I rejected it. Huh. Did I? Probably because I just don't trust you.
Like, there's got to be there's something up that sleeve, maybe.
Like, you know, the minute I click it, this news story comes up where damnedest thing happened. Brock Purdy's leg fell off. It was non-contact. He was on the field. All of a sudden, his leg came off.
No blood or anything. It was just clean. It just clean fell off.
Now he's got one of those razor legs, and so he won't be playing NFL.
No, you can't play one regular leg and one boingy boingy leg. You got to have both boingy boingy.
It's a both are in either situation.
And how do you plant with the boingy boingy? I'm just saying.
I mean, it's pretty easy if you put all your weight on it.
Ringless Joe says, here's a question. Is Daniel Jones secretly good and just stuck with a bad team?
No,
yes.
No.
Maybe?
No.
He is better than he looks most of the time because the team isn't good. But Daniel Jones isn't sneaky good. The guy still makes some of the worst decisions you've ever seen in your life.
What about Dino Cutlets?
Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, oh, there it is.
He's still around.
Tommy Cutlets.
He's still there?
I think he's still on the roster.
Arrowhead of the class. Don't bring this up. That was like an hour ago. He's like, I feel bad for being a K-State fan now. You should.
Why?
No, I don't want to bring this up.
we don't have to go back there.
Really
what
don't
happened?
want to. I'll tell you. I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
I'll tell you off air.
But we spent an hour exercising the demons of that particular
granddaughter that roots for K-State because she lives right there in Lawrence, Kansas.
She shouldn't attend that school.
Yeah, don't.
She's planning on attending that school. I need to know this stuff
just
so I can avert.
How many years?
She's freshman in high school.
Okay, I think that'll be gone by then.
Your mind.
That guy might be gone by then.
Fish Tank says
there's a guy there I need to worry about.
I'll tell you at the break.
All right.
Fish Tank says, Jeffrey, Moiswan sent you that trade request because having his lofty advances rejected kind of turns him on. Ooh, yeah, that does sound about right.
That does sound like him. Yeah.
Robert from Surprise says, what did Antonio Pierce mean about a business decision? You know what? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what Antonio Pierce said and what that meant. And I'll tell you what, that's if I were a player on that team, I'd be a little nervous because he's pissed. Let's come back. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
NFL Week 4 starts on Thursday night. The Dallas Cowboys are in New York to take on the Giants. Both teams sitting at 1-2. The Cowboys are a 5.5-point road favorite. They have the worst run defense in the NFL. On the money line, the Cowboys are -250, while the Giants are +210. The over-under at MetLife Stadium, 45.5, over -105, and the under -115. Sunday night, Buffalo will be on the road to face Baltimore. Ravens a 2.5-point home favorite, -135. Bills +115, over under 46.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
A new app called Sport Trade is coming to Arizona to make in-play bets instantly. No more spinny wheel. Search Sport Trade Wells to see the great prices Sport Trade players are getting in real time.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to harmonsolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast too. Check it out. Go to harmonsolar.com. That's harmonsolar.com.
In most countries of the world, Forte means door. United Forte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
I'm Angela Gonzalez, reporting from Phoenix. We're talking with the community about Phoenix Police Department. Ma'am, what do you think?
Oh, I love them. They're our local heroes. We've had some problems around here with break-ins and people using drugs on the streets. The police work with our community to have a presence in our neighborhood and keep our streets safe.
Thank you, Phoenix Police.
Gracias a la Policía de Phoenix.
Thank you, Phoenix Police.
Rise to serve. Find more today at joinphxpd.com. Protect and serve with the elite.
Sponsored by the City of Phoenix.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way, from up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet, weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and I'm representing BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. Football season is here, and BetUS is going large with a 125% sign-up bonus for your first 3 deposits. Get started today at betus.com. All right, so here's the deal. Antonio Pierce was pretty mad. At the end of the game, he was talking and he says, yep, some players on the roster are making business decisions instead of giving it their all during the game. So he says they are making business decisions, so we're going to start making some business decisions. Well, that sounded like some people weren't going to get to play anymore. But then again, you're like, well, wait a second. Well, what business decisions are you referring to? Whose business decisions? Somebody who didn't fly across the field and get a tackle? I mean, you want people to, basically put their bodies on the line at a higher level, that is unsafe for them. And so it's like, if you're talking about them making business decisions, trying not to get hurt, you're kind of walking a weird line there, aren't you? I feel like that's, I don't know. But Devontae Adams, he had Antonio Pierce's back. He says, well, I agree. At the end of the day, by the way, I hate when people say at the end of the day. I want that stricken from the vernacular so badly.
Yep.
He says, you look at the drives that we had at the end of the game, and we really didn't have much to play for other than pride. Just doing it for the Raiders logo and the name on the back. Well, obviously, we got beat by a team we feel we shouldn't have been beat by. And so what does that mean? What are you saying? Are you saying there's other people out there who were not doing their best? I'm trying to read through here what he's talking about. He says multiple times throughout the 3 hours we were out there where people maybe not be putting in
that extra hit on somebody, not putting that extra block, not straining a little bit more. All right. So
it sounds like he's saying some guys not necessarily quit, but they just weren't.
They was not maximum effort.
Yeah, like they especially when they fell behind. You know, it's very easy to try and you can look like you're trying to tackle somebody, like, you take a bad angle and you kind of jog it out to the end. It's happened. And I think that he's trying to nip that in the bud right now. Like, this is not how Raider football will be played in the Antonio Pierce regime. You're going to play 100%. And it doesn't matter if we're up 20 or down 20.
100% great, but not to your own physical detriment, meaning that you don't injure yourself. Being tired, I don't care about tired. What I do care about is not playing so crazy that you end up with a concussion or something or broken leg.
I don't know that he's asking people to hurt themselves, but he is asking for, supreme effort. I mean, you're at the supreme level of NFL football. And if you're just out there half-assing it and not giving supreme effort, because Antonio Pierce has had it hard his entire career. I mean, when he was at Arizona State, he was considered an undersized linebacker. When the guy played football, he was considered a guy that's just not good enough to be a Pro Bowler. I think he got a honorable mention or something along the lines, but I mean, he played in the NFL. He knows what it takes to play in the NFL. And the guy has won a Super Bowl. He knows what it takes to win. And if these guys are playing half-ass, I think he's calling them out to say, you're not giving enough effort to win ball games. We should have won this game. You guys need to be giving more, and you need to quit worrying about your brand and your future in football and start playing to earn the paychecks that you get.
Yeah, as long as it's to the best of your ability and play 100%, go out there and do what you're being paid to do. Oh, yeah, I agree 100%. But if you start talking about, putting yourself at further risk than necessary, then I don't really get that.
I don't believe that. This is a guy that Antonio Pierce has always been an overachiever. This has always been a guy that has played above his weight class. And this is a guy that just has a passion for football. And I think he's calling his team out for not giving supreme effort. Yeah, that's what I
fair enough on the effort. Yeah.
Because if you can put together the best game plan, and I'm not saying that that's what the Raiders did, but if they did, it doesn't work if the players don't give 100% effort. You need that.
Ringless Joe says, I don't understand why that Raiders GM is so livid. You had a playoff level expectations without ever having a playoff level team. What did he expect was going to happen?
Well, I mean, yeah, they don't have a franchise quarterback right now. I mean, I know it's Gardner Dan Minshew the third, and they should be happy that they have him. But look, you got Max Crosby. You got a guy that's passionate about playing. You got a head coach that is passionate about the game of football. Now what you need are some players that are willing to lay it on the line and give supreme effort.
Fish Tank says, I saw a video of who's either a corner or a safety, number 18, I believe, who at least twice was dodging contact or letting the ball carrier just go right by them. Okay, yeah, that guy, should be cut.
Yeah, and it shows up on film. Like when they go back and watch the film together, you might think you might have been able to hide it from the sideline. The coaches might not have been able to tell on game day, oh, that guy's not necessarily giving his best effort. But when you go back and watch the film and you're seeing that in the all 22, why did you miss that block? Why didn't you get that tackle?
Well, I have to answer for it.
Yeah, I guarantee you, Antonio is going to call it out.
And you're going to be sitting in front of a room of your teammates having to figure out a way to explain that to them and why you let them down that way.
Even more noticeable when it's a Raider, because the Raiders have always known, and for their entire existence, for hard-hitting, lunch pail ethic, get in there and murder a guy. When you heard Dan Campbell and the Lions talking about biting kneecaps, you're thinking, that sounds like a Raider thing, doesn't it? The Raiders have always had that sort of reputation and dodging tackles. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that is not the Raider way.
The Raiders are so influential. They inspired the Bad Boy Pistons. It crossed over sports. So that's what that team has always stood for. There are certain things that you have to be when you're a Steeler. There are things you have to be when you are a Dallas Cowboy. If you're a Raider, you play hard. That's what you do.
Antonio Pierce is not going to stand for half-assed effort. I will say that. He's just not going to stand for it.
Robert from Surprise says, I wouldn't be surprised to see Aiden O'Connell this week. I don't know that this was directed at Gardner Minshew. And in fact, they did recently say that Gardner Minshew is going to continue to be the starter.
Mhm.
So I don't think this is a problem with the quarterbacks.
Though Pierce didn't guarantee that Minshew was going to stay the starter.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
no guarantee, but at this
But
moment,
Minshew's been pretty solid. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't see anything that Gardner Minshew has done that you could say Aiden O'Connell is an upgrade over there.
Right.
real fast, Randy, let's talk about your Arizona Cardinals and you've got bad news. Defensive tackle Justin Jones is now out for a year with a triceps tear injury.
Oh, God, I hate that.
It's like one of the worst muscle groups too.
He's the heart of your defense, man.
Yeah, well, that just means guys like Dennis Gardeck is going to have to step up and fill that gap. There's going to have to be people that jump in there next man
Naquan
up.
Jones is the next man up to
Well,
fill
there
that
you go.
position.
And the guys, the veterans on this Cardinals defense are going to have to pump him up. He's going to have to deliver. And I hope that he's ready to go. I hope he's ready. I hope he's hungry. I hope he wants to get out there and prove the fact that he's able to hold that position down and contribute to this Cardinals defense, because this is a tight unit. Even though they may not have looked as good as the week prior last week, they are a good unit. And I think they're growing every year, and that's a tough loss, man. When you lose a guy like that, that's one of the anchors on your defense. That's a guy that can drive plays a certain way to help your linebackers and your cornerbacks make plays.
So Alex Singleton is out for the season with a torn ACL. So Denver's got their defense busted up a little bit. Eckler is he still? He's not going to be able to play, right, Keon?
I don't think so. No, I don't think the concussion protocol. I don't think he's been cleared from that yet.
So he's at least one game he's going to miss right there. Christian McCaffrey, they said, what's with Germany? He's going to Germany to see a specialist about his Achilles tendonitis. What? Okay,
they're just different specialists.
Couple
in these
things. That dude should have come to him. You don't send the player to another country.
I'm pretty sure this was an individual thing. I don't think that the 49ers sent Christian McCaffrey. I think Christian McCaffrey is trying to do everything he can to get back as quickly as he can, and he went to a person who's considered the best. That guy's in Germany, so you go to Germany.
Yeah, the German population. I mean, there's a lot of doctors and a lot of engineers there,
and
okay. I mean, he might come out of there with a hamstring made by BMW or something.
I mean, I have no idea, but all I know is that doctor, if he's the best at his job,
Mercedes,
he's not leaving Germany to tend to a running back in America. You go to him.
And so we have put together a little thing for your hamstring and for your Achilles, and let me tell you something: it will get you laid. We made posh. We know how to get you some. So, all right. I hope it works. But in the meantime, Jordan Mason, he's been okay. How did he do last week, though? Who has the Jordan Mason? I can't remember. I think
I thought he was all right. I had to go back.
Moistman's got the Jordan Mason, and I'm bringing it up right now. Yeah, he had not as good as the first 2 weeks. He only had 77 yards rushing and a couple of about 11 yards receiving.
When teams start to figure out your style and how you run and what your tendencies are, those numbers are not going to stay where they were.
Here's the slide. So he had 25.2 fantasy football points week 1. He had 20 the next week, and he had 10 this last week. So if it is like Keon says, everybody's figuring you out, okay, that's one thing. But the guy is he's a up the middle kind of runner. So you just depends on who they come across next.
And where they miss McCaffrey a lot is also in the pass game as a receiver, just a couple of receptions for 11 yards last game. So Mason's he's doing the best he can. That's what he can do. McCaffrey just gives you that extra element of being able to attack through the air.
You got to see Mason becoming one of their targets in the next game, right?
Well, it doesn't seem like he's a receiving kind of guy.
Yeah, like I don't know that they're going to do that because Christian McCaffrey, one of the things that's special about him is like he could actually just line up at receiver and
Right.
straight up beat a corner.
Yeah, Jordan Mason's not that guy.
You can't ask most running backs to do that.
Niner 1680 says, you can do stem cell in Germany. Am I the only one picturing a stem cell phone? It's operated off of like dead babies.
No.
What?
Am I the only one?
You might be. You might be alone on this.
I think you are.
It's really great reception. Though.
No.
Oh my god.
No.
All right, so that's why. So they can do some experimental treatment. All right. Ringless Joe says, if you're a Detroit Lion fan, if you're a Detroit Lion, you play like a lion. And that includes roaring after every touchdown and wearing a big fuzzy mane under your helmet.
Well, I mean, up until recently, it just meant a lot of losing, but sure, that's another way of.
Moist One says, probably getting something done in Germany that's not legal here. Yeah, I guess that's a stem cell thing.
Yeah, I don't know what our country's laws are on that.
So Brock Purdy they said he practiced. The Brock Purdy had some back soreness, but they're saying that he did actually attend the actual practice.
Well, that's good. That's good. Good for him.
I mean, every now and you get a little tweak in your back. No big deal.
Sure.
It'll be fine. Adam Thielen on injured reserve. You guys know that, right?
Oh my gosh. Oh, the Panthers could use another wide receiver injury, like they could use a kick down a flight of stairs. That is the worst news.
Moist One just sent me a trade offer.
Oh boy.
He wants to trade me DeAndre Swift, Brock Purdy, and then wide receiver Coleman from the Bills in exchange for Hurts and Olave.
I don't know about that one.
I mean, he's trying to stack the deck. He's giving you 3 for 2.
It just there's like almost nothing that he's going to say that is going to, I'm going to think is a good idea.
Yeah,
for
but
me.
like look at the 3 that he's giving you compared to what you'd have to give up. Hurts has not done a whole lot for you, but that rushing upside is still there. And Olave, I honestly, that week 3 Olave was very good.
You know what I'll
Seems
do?
to be trending the right way.
Going to run it by the Fantasy Football King. I've got a direct line. I can ask him anytime I want.
Yeah, Mr. the King. He'll tell you.
I do like Brock Purdy. I do like Brock Purdy. All right. So let's see here. Remember we were talking about how much we hated having 2 Monday Night Football games on the same night?
Yes.
And how we thought it was a bad idea. But then part of it was like, well, but if one game is really bad and the other one is pretty good, you flip it over, right? You flip it over.
But the normal Joe can't do that.
ESPN did not do that.
Yeah, the normal Joe can't do that.
So, no, I mean, you can with your TV most of the time, But anyway, so here's the ratings. They averaged 19 million viewers during the 2-hour, 2-game overlap.
For both games?
Yeah. The Commandos and Bengals averaged 13 million viewers. And then the late game had 15.2 million viewers. And so that, averaged out together 19 million viewers during the overlap.
Because my math says 18 million.
Where's your math coming from?
You said 13 million and 15 million?
No, it's not added. It's overlapped. So at the time that if you only watched Commandos Bengals, then 13.2 million. If you only watched the late game, 15.2 million. But the overlap, during the time of the overlap, there was a
18.4 million.
No,
18.4.
Randy, we're not adding it. It's an overlap.
Just that when that was happening, that's how many people were watching.
I'm surprised you guys are just being bottle fed these numbers and you're taking it, because to me it doesn't sound like it's exact. It sounds like somebody's pulling the wool over your eyeballs.
No, it's just ratings, Randy. It's just
say 18 million total for both games is what I take about
add the two together at the time this game is happening, the other game is happening, 2 games are happening, and so then that increased the number of people who were happening to watch either. So at the time,
when the 2 games were happening, can you tell me what was happening?
19 million people were watching.
How is it 19 when it was only 18.4?
Okay, I give up. All I know is this: the numbers were not great. That's not that ain't great numbers.
No, it's not.
I'll say
almost like dividing your audience is not a good idea. And maybe putting
well said,
putting
Keon.
two games, because here's the thing with you could switch between the games if one's bad. Some people, the option to switch games was I have to go to ESPN Plus and watch it over there. And like
I won't pay for that.
Yeah, like not everybody's got it. And so, you're stuck watching the game that's on TV. I was at the gym watching the game, and the bad game was on TV.
Oof.
You're just stuck watching the Jaguars get.
Well, you're
pounded
already
into
angry at
turf.
the gym, and now you've got a bad football game to watch while you're at the gym. That would just piss me off right there.
Yeah, made the lifting very effective.
You couldn't change it.
I would start throwing weights around.
No, could not change it.
I'd grab one of those workout butterflies that sit at the gym. I'd throw her out in the lobby somewhere. I'd be like the Hulk there at the gym.
It did make the lifting much more effective.
I feel like that just gets you arrested, Randy.
Probably would.
All right. Listen, we have to take a break. When we come back, we've got two things. We got on this date in Big George's sports history, plus the teacher lady sports quote of the day. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
It's fall football on The Fanatic. Catch all the live game play-by-play, Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday day and night NFL games, plus the Saturday NCAA football game of the week. It's all right here on the Valley's home for football. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
My name is Mary Grace. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's in 2017. 2 months after losing her, my dad was diagnosed. The earlier the diagnosis you have, the more time you have with your loved one. With my dad, now that I know what's coming, I'm able to create memories not only for him, but for myself. Though when he can't remember, I'll remember for him.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
In most countries of the world, Forte means door. United Forte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Okay, so I saw this headline and feel like this shouldn't even be a thing that we have to even agree to or have any papers signed about. Headline says NFL partners with FEMA to prepare stadiums for use as emergency shelters. Listen, the stadiums aren't owned by Joel Osteen. He's not going to lock the door on everybody when the hurricane comes. I don't think that we need to have agreements in place for this.
Well, just for the personnel, I guess, to be able to get in easily and
so they get a set of keys.
Yeah, and like maybe the place where the players normally come through. Maybe you've got personnel being able to come through there, so you can keep them separated from the people they're helping.
Okay.
And reduce confusion and that kind of thing.
Do you think the FEMA workers have to go through the metal detectors?
I mean, in that situation, I don't think you'd have to.
I
don't think you'd have
Everybody's all stuck outside in a tornado.
Mm-hmm.
No, I guess the NFL was the ones who went to FEMA and said, "Hey, we should probably work this out to where you guys are going to need some keys, and then here's how we're going to do
NFL
this."
is expecting some sort of catastrophic storms, then,
or I wonder what they're
I'm-
wanting in advance. Does now FEMA have to kick in federal funds to the NFL?
Mhm.
Because nothing the NFL does is ever pure.
I see it now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, look, if the NFL winds up helping people, that's just a side effect that they'll accept. That's not their goal, I don't think.
So what you're saying, Jeffrey, is the NFL has somehow figured out how to change the weather.
Wait,
no, I didn't say that. Pretty sure I didn't say that.
I think that's what I heard.
It'd be sunny and clear on every game day if that were the case.
No,
that's
not
more
true.
money.
Don't think they would
I
try
think
to.
the NFL has devised a way to bring hurricanes on shore and to start tornadoes and some sort of mudslides so that they can open up their stadiums and make more money.
Well,
I don't think it requires that.
Yeah. Think about it. Take the evening and just think
Randy,
about it.
think that look on our face is us trying to find polite ways of not
I don't
telling
think so.
you you're crazy.
I don't think so. I think you guys believe me. Being a meteorologist, there are ways to manipulate the atmosphere.
You could get nominated for a Nobel Prize.
Yeah,
See?
there you go. There's your
That
Nobel Prize.
thinking right there, that'll get you the
See
Nobel from what we've seen.
See what I'm saying?
Hey, we got a new texter who texted in and said they wanted to go to the micro wrestling, so I sent him some tickets. And I was like, "Hey, by the way, do you actually listen to this show?" And he says, "Yeah, when I can."
There are people that they just happen to be listening, and then you say tickets, and that's the only time they've ever contacted any of us.
So, all right, I don't mind.
Yeah, it happens.
You can lie to me. I don't even care. I don't care. Lost Toby says Reds broke up a perfect game with a bunt. I hope they fight.
Yeah, someone's getting hit with a pitch.
You know what? Somebody needs to grow a pair and get a real base hit. I'm so tired of hearing perfect games broken up by a bunt. Panty waste.
I mean, you don't want a perfect game against you. All right, go ahead and bunt.
Yeah, but someone's getting hit with a pitch later.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
I mean,
fair's fair. Fair.
The next time you're up, I'll see if you bunt this one.
98, just above the coccyx.
Robert from Surprise says the Raiders could have used a little help from FEMA administering some first aid on that horrible performance. Oh yeah, they should have been ushered into the stadium.
That's actually requiring disaster relief right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big George says any chance this hurricane could take out the entire New York Mets and Atlanta Braves organizations. That would guarantee the Diamondbacks a playoff spot.
We can only hope, George.
Wow.
We can only hope and pray.
I don't think I want to murder everybody on each of those
Who
teams.
said murder? Who said murder? Who said?
Well, if you
hurricane
nobody
that
said
would
that.
take out the entire organization.
Take out the organizations.
Didn't mean for ice cream, Randy.
Just eliminate the organizations, but not hurt anybody.
How?
Yeah, I don't think that works.
Easy.
That way.
Yeah, the buildings fall down, their uniforms blow away, all their equipment's gone, they're decimated.
It just seems like you could
see what I'm saying.
There are workarounds for all of those things.
Oh, I'm so sorry you guys can't play anymore. The Diamondbacks will represent you.
Robert from Surprise says, yeah, definitely somebody needs to get plunked if you bunt on a no-hitter.
Damn right. You're damn right. They do. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's say it was the Diamondbacks playing the Yankees. I'd be like, bunt! Bond.
But just know that you're taking one for the team.
Well,
We appreciate your
I'll
service.
go out to
Look,
bat. You can plunk me. Give me a uniform and a one-day contract. You can plunk me.
You don't want to be hit by a major league fastball, Jeff.
I'll take it. If it means ruining the day of a Yankee.
You're not putting 90 miles per hour in my rib cage. That is a no, sir, for me, boss.
Nah.
I'll do it.
You take one just above the belt line, it's no bueno, my friend.
I mean, listen, I'll go out to bat, but I'll be like this.
Your lumbar will be bruised forever.
I'll take it. If it hurts the Yankees, I'll do it.
You'll think about it every time you sit down to go poo.
It's all right. That's all right.
10 years from now, you might still be thinking about
I
it.
might have a baseball-sized pool hole to do that with.
And then the 5-layer burrito will actually.
No, that's no.
Yes,
that's no.
that would work.
No, that's no shot in the fanny. I mean, you bring that into the rib cage right there.
Yeah, no,
I would
thanks.
work it out with the pitcher. So listen, I'm taking this.
You don't have
If that guy's still mad at you enough,
right in the thigh.
There's no working it out with that guy.
Look,
he's hitting somebody.
Kurt Schilling should have absolutely brained Ben Davis. Absolutely brained him. I mean, that guy should not be able to put a coherent sentence together because of the way he broke up a perfect game in San Diego against Kurt Schilling and the Diamondbacks. I mean, the next pitch that Ben Davis got from Kurt Schilling should have been about 106 right between the ear hole. He should be walking around today go, what day is it? That's the way I feel about it.
That would be the rules, but just not the head. Just not the head, please. Just please.
Ben Davis deserves it. Now he's broadcasting Padre games. Listen, he would be a slobbering idiot if he did that to me.
Beer Bob says, what inning did that bunt happen?
Oh, I don't know.
Fish Tank says, if the game is close, like 1-0, 2-0, you can absolutely bunt in a no.
No way.
Clay
No way,
Nigma
Fish Tank.
says, hello, my fellow wise men. Sorry it's been a while since my last text. And oh man, was I in error stating that the Snakes would go 99-63. A couple of weeks ago, they might have had a shot, but nope. They made their mission to make me look like a moronic rube. They can still do well, but they basically they pissed him off. I can't read. There's so much text there. Yeah.
Oh boy. Also, 7th inning is when that got broken up. 2-0, 7th inning.
Yeah, that's not right.
Just absolutely.
Robert from Surprise says, I think it's acceptable to bunt a no-hitter in the first 3 innings, but no later.
No.
Well, yeah, because in the first 3 innings, you could lose that in any way. But once you get to like 7, 8,
7, 8,
come on.
9. No.
All right, we're running out of time, so let me get this going. It's time for the Teacher Lady Sports Quote of the Day. And I don't think we have music for this yet, so I'll just do it. I'll do it dry.
Okay.
Sports creates a bond between contemporaries that lasts a lifetime. It also gives your life structure, discipline, and a genuine, sincere, pure fulfillment that few other areas of endeavor provide. Do you know who said that?
No.
Bob Cousy.
Bob Cousy.
Yep. Born in 1928. He's still alive. Maybe him and June Lockhart. You know what I'm saying? He's 96. 6-time NBA champion with the Boston Celtics, 13-time NBA All-Star, and 1957 most valuable player in the NBA. Bob Cousy.
Well, one of the great point guards of all time, pre-crossover dribble existing. Because once that, that's a different.
He has forgotten more basketball than anyone currently even knows. So, Teacher Lady Sports Quote of the Day. Now it's time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1974, in the first of its kind operation, Dr. Frank Jobe transplanted a tendon from Tommy John's right wrist to the Dodger pitcher's left elbow. The revolutionary ulnar collateral ligament reconstruction would become known as a standard surgical procedure, known as the Tommy John surgery, enabled the Southpaw to win an additional 164 games. What an amazing coincidence that the first time they did that surgery, it was on a guy named Tommy John. I mean, the fact that Tommy John surgery, the first guy happened to be named Tommy John.
Jeffrey.
That's just, I don't know what the math is on that. But
Jeffrey.
They did the surgery.
They should have played the lottery.
Yeah, Jeffrey. Tommy John was a Yankee at the time. B.
No, it said here he's a Dodger, and he won 288 games.
Oh, with the Yankees. And B. they named it after him because
Did he
was
just get
the
me to
first-
read this about a Yankee by saying, I don't even like the Dodgers, but I hate the Yankees. You sure about that?
He was a Dodger and a Yankee.
Oh, well, at the time, maybe he was a Dodger.
Yeah,
But he continued
He was a
playing.
Dodger. He played 3 more seasons with the Dodgers, and
See?
then he was a Yankee
Then he
from
was a
then
Yankee.
until basically the end of his career.
But I'm never going to mention Tommy John again. Now I know he finished his
His
career
career.
as a Yankee.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they
Filthy
named the
filth.
surgery after him because he was
Filth.
number one.
Well, it made sense because his name was already Tommy John. So when they did the Tommy John surgery on him,
No.
Well,
No.
Cardinal Art says, Randy, can you please give me a cold brewski and a weather forecast? This weather is insane. What weather?
Well,
What's going on?
I mean, I would.
Is it going to rain?
I'd love to tell you that it's going to rain, but it's 105 currently in downtown Phoenix, 103 in the West Valley, 104 in Scottsdale.
Is monsoon
in-
coming?
In Floyd's Knobs, Indiana, 68 degrees currently, and
gives
going to
a
be
crap?
sunshine, 110 tomorrow, 106 on Friday, 111 Saturday, 106 Sunday. It's going to get back down into the 90s by late next week. However, the evenings are very nice outside. They'll be in the mid 70s, mid 80s. Currently, visibility 25 plus miles, humidity at 15%, and the wind is currently calm.
So there's going to be no storms
no rain,
tonight.
No rain. No rain in the
You
forecast.
promise.
Yeah, no rain.
I got stuff that's outside that
Yeah,
I
no-
would have
no
to bring
rain.
inside.
No-
if there was
No
okay.
rain in the foreseeable future.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Beer Bob says, I'm sure he was a Yankee when he was a Dodger.
Mhm.
We've all been a Yankee. At least
Yeah.
all of us guys have
Yeah.
been.
Oh yeah.
I think Beer Bob was making a masturbation joke there.
Excuse me.
Something about a Yankee.
Hmm.
He thinks that Tommy John had a Yankee.
Okay.
Is that how he ended up with the injury that needed the Tommy John surgery?
Too much use of that
who
right
can say?
hand.
Who
Yeah.
can say? I mean, that's commitment to the Yankee.
Oh, no.
All right.